Yo, ayan. Hello. Shoutout sa inyo. Makikikulit lang tayo dito. Watch partying matindi para sa RQ versus AP Brand. Kung gusto niyo pong makinood, sige, tambay lang kayo dito sa akin. Makiki-watch party lang tayo, ha? Ayan. Kung gusto niyo akong samahang manood at sumuporta of course sa ating kababayan, tambay kayo dito sa akin.
Yeah, definitely flawless execution so far. I mean, it's no secret, when you're sitting at that world champion. I mean, honestly, they're in a position where they have really everything to lose. Everybody wants to take down the biggest team in the world holding that championship title from the M Series. But so far, just a little bit of history from Game of Futures, what we've seen so far, they're currently undefeated. They're able to take down Homeboys.
Let's go. Live tayo live tayo ngayon sa TikTok. Kung gusto niyo po makinood at makikulit sa akin, sige. Okay na okay yan.
And defeated Homeboys again and sent them home packing to the airport. And then now today, we are going to be seeing them go up against another top region, MLBB, which is going to be Indonesia or the Philippines. Or Indonesia. Yeah, we're right.
That's right. that should be a treat. I mean,
Tara, makinood tayo.
This is something that the Filipinos would like to see when the Filipino team, or the only Filipino team left, will have to.
Hello, Lodi Umi. Oy, hello sa'yo, Irvin. Maki-watch party tayo, tara. Makikulit tayo dito.
And especially because they're in the top 4 and this is a single elimination bracket, all of the matches now for AP Bren will be
streaming in YouTube too. Yep. I'm also streaming on YouTube, Peter Dishes. Sino po maglalaban, idol? AP Bren at saka RRQ. Good morning, Crush. Hello, Sexy Love. Shoutout.
Should be defended. This is
Kuyatan malala. Tara. Suporta tayo sa AP Bren. AP Bren tayo, guys, ha. Manood tayo sa AP Bren. Kailangan natin suportahan ng AP Bren. Matindi tong laro na to. Game na, wala pa po, mag-start pa lang. Sali ka na lang kila Mirko at Midnight. Magkakasama ba sila? Sige, okay lang yan. Nag-live tayo sa sa TikTok Gusto ko rin mag-live actually. So, kaya ako nandito. Game number 4 na wala pa. Magsisimula pa lang, boy. Nangyari sa'yo? Lights off. Semis na ba yan? Yup, semis na po. Semifinals na. Tara, makinood kayo sa akin. Mas malakas boses ko sa kanila, ha? Hininaan ko talaga yung boses nila, okay?
One of my dear friends, Manjin, and I'm sure you know him.
Shoutouts mo, pre. Ako nga, Peter. May nanalo na ba? Wala pa dyan. Wala pa po. Sino po player ng AP Bren? Usual AP Bren. Clap TZ, Ogwen, Kyle TZ, Super Marco, tsaka Pew. Kahit talo blacklist, malaki pa rin uwi nila. Yap. Si Boss Manjin live din sa YouTube. Nice. Ako kakastart ko lang ng live sa YouTube. Pero sa TikTok, alam niyo naman TikTok tayo, pre. TikTok ang era natin di ba? So dito tayo makikinood, dito tayo makikikulit, okay? So chill lang kayo dyan. Shoutout Wendell. Oy, thank you so much sa mga nagpo-follow Baka naman yung mga dumadaan dyan, mag-follow naman kayo. Baka naman, boss. Diba? Ano oras mag-start? Maya mag-start na po. Alam ko 12:30 mag-start na to. So, Felix, shoutout po ako para 2-0. Ayan, shoutout sa'yo, Felix. By the way, matindi tong laban na to kasi kapag natalo, or kung sino man ang matalo dito, ay laglag na. Okay? Wala, hindi. Battle for third pala. Sorry, hindi laglag. Battle for third. Okay? Para lang clear. Battle for third tayo dyan.
My friend Manjin Faldas, actually. And the Filipino
friends. Dels Cutie, shoutout sa'yo. Congrats, Bren lang malakas. Wala pa, kalma lang tayo, guys. Kalma lang, okay? Magsisimula pa lang ang laban. Best of 3 po ito. Bukas pa ang best of 5 para sa Grand Finals.
For me, so it's daylight right now. As you can tell, my energy is going to be doubled inside of this stream because I'm not super tired at 5 in the morning casting. So fair warning.
Parang MPLI lang dati. Lang, isang diretso lang to, pre.
Wolf
Isang
situation.
isang
Now,
diretso lang to,
talking
Ervin.
about AP Brin, right?
Ano
Let's
oras
kind of
start,
dive a
boss?
little bit more into that. So
12:30
far,
eh.
we've been seeing a couple of key
Shoutcast mo,
players
kuya,
like
sabi ni
DK,
Jan. Hindi, yabang
Fox
sila.
Easy on the CC, normally picking it up.
Yabang
having
sila.
such a great impact on kind of harassing
Boss,
members,
nakapagkabe na ba
creating
lahat? Hindi,
separation
mamaya
from
magtitimpla ako.
ability,
Ayaw
taking
nga
neutral
pala, no?
objectives.
Buti
We've seen
pinalala mo yung
Super
kape. Wait
Marco
lang.
pulling out the Navaria. Was able to take
Kalmahan
down
lang
two
natin.
Lions,
Magkakape
two
ako
Aces.
maya-maya. Okay?
He also used it against the Homeboys and shut them down.
I think Onyx,
Both of them
AP Brand
just
sa
competitive
finals.
players so
Tingnan
far,
natin,
and
guys. Tingnan
gonna have to be
natin.
looked out for
Check
if
natin
they
kung
wanna
yun ba ang
have a shot
magaganap.
to
Okay?
take them down inside of this series.
Sabi ni
Definitely have to
Gushon,
keep your
1
A game
PH, 2
from,
Indo.
Ark Hoshi.
Oo nga eh.
AP Bren is a team that
Tsaka,
is known to
malakas ang Fireflux ah.
activate
Ayoko
players
ma-disappoint.
individually
Pero
first.
malakas ang
And although that's
malakas ang
very
Fireflux.
cliche, right?
So,
But
kailangang
really dive into the
paghandaan
games
talaga yun
of
ng,
AP
ng
Bren.
ano,
There's no
ng
hero.
Onyx.
There's no game that
Sa Joe,
will beat
shoutout
AP Bren
sa'yo.
because there's
Magkano
no
nga
one
prize pool dito? $1
pretends
million.
to be a hero. And not a
$1 million
defensive
po ang
hero in the
prize
game,
pool.
but a hero
Salamat,
in
may
the
live
game,
sa
right?
TikTok.
So
Shoutout
those
sa'yo,
heroes
Boss
in
G.
those games, whenever they
Yan,
try to do
makinood
that,
kayo
they
dito sa akin, no?
show
Baka
the
trip nyo lang
games where
Baka lang
they're
naman
just,
trip nyo.
the
Okay?
M1 World
Brand
Championship,
versus
whenever they
Fireflux
go for
finals na,
individuals, all the
napaniginipan ko.
flashy
Hindi,
plays,
pero hindi
they
malabo ah.
rely
Hindi
on
malabo.
backhand
Okay?
strategy.
The fact na hindi
But AP Bren
maglalaro
is
si
good as a team.
si
Very
CW,
fun
si
to
Chewe,
just,
dahil may sakit nga si
make sure
Chewe
that
eh.
everybody
Ang alam ko
else
may
is
sakit si
working,
Chewe. So, hindi siya
because
makapaglaro.
they are activated by
Ang
teammates.
naglalaro ngayon, ay, wait
Being
lang.
activated
Masyadong
by
malaki
all
ata yung
the
aking
mid lane,
camera.
making sure that the jungle
Pero okay na yan.
is
Ay,
able
wait
to
lang.
rotate properly by
Liitan ko
clearing
yung
out the
camera ko,
mid lane.
sorry.
And then
Wait.
when they do team fight, it's all connected. That's the main strength of AP Bren. I think that's very visible in their series against Homeboys. You saw how perfectly AP Bren played against Homeboys because they played as a team. And that is how
Lilitan ko
you
yung camera ko.
actually force AP Bren. This is actually a tip for our
Yan,
Hoshi.
okay.
If you want
Lilitan ko
to-
lang
if you
yung
want to
aking
beat
ano ah.
AP Bren, what you need to do is to force
Lilitan
them
ko lang yung
to
aking
make the hero
camera.
plays, right? So isolate them from the
Kasi
map,
syempre
make
gusto
sure
ko
that
naman
there's a
mapanood
1v1
natin to.
play that
Okay,
might happen
19 million
between
daw
you and AP
prize
Bren,
pool
then
sabi
all of a
ni
sudden the rotation
Inspi.
might
Parang
not
mas
go.
malaki pa nga
But
ata,
that's what
pre.
to do.
Mas malaki pa.
Yeah, and speaking of
Kasi,
top of
wait
the
lang
game
ah.
and
Calculator.
what to
Kunin ko yung
expect, we are
calculator.
seeing the Nolan band out
Calculator.
first from Archie alongside the Mathilda. A little bit textbook.
Saglit.
We've seen the Nolan do a lot of
1
early game damage, just being
million,
able to rotate
1,
around
2,
that jungle
3,
and be a menace. The Mathilda,
times,
I feel like it's one of those
sabihin
more stable
nating
bands that we've been seeing so far.
55
Everybody's scared
times
for that
55.
mobility,
55 million.
that she provides.
Okay.
Very hard to
55
kinda keep up
million
with. You spoke
pesos
a little
ang
bit about,
prize pool
AP
ng
Bren and what RQ Hoshi,
tournament na to,
can do
okay?
take them down. Let's talk about the other side of the board. What could our AP Bren
Okay,
do to
Dark
RQ
Horse.
Hoshi
Yap,
down now?
Dark Horse po yung ano,
I would
Irving.
say he's gonna
Replay
start
lang to
taking
eh.
down
Anong
Skylar
replay, pre?
and Banana
Semifinals na to.
so
Ano
far,
sinasabi
I've had
mo?
the pleasure of kind of casting
Ayos ka lang.
A and watching their entire journey
Sergeant
so far.
Mid Spain, may Layla kaya ngayon? Hindi,
Every
hindi natin
single
alam.
time,
Hindi
one
natin
in the
alam.
sidelines, you'd see Banana rotating around, seeing the Benedetta.
Ba't wala si Irad? Ayan si Irad, oh.
Get the neutral objectives and create the separation.
Diyan si Irad, min. Ayan, oh. Nasa
And also at the
pang-apat.
same point, you got to see Skylar. Normally, he's beating that marksman one-on-one in the
Wait lang,
goal
lagay
lane,
ko sa
and
gitna yung
even
aking
when
itsura,
things
yung
don't look in their
picture.
favor, he pulls out a Layla last
Para makita
minute
natin
and
yung...
still is able to pull out the
Yan.
victory. So, I mean, they
Tatlo
definitely have a lot
kami.
of momentum behind them, and that's something AP Bren is gonna have
Okay,
to watch out
pasensya na.
And this is the thing for RQ Hoshi. They have
Para makita natin yung
right
draft,
now,
no? Para makita natin yung draft.
head coach.
Okay, so Nolan,
Obviously, a very
Fredrin,
important role in,
Novaria.
these drafts, and him knowing
Tapos yung sa play ni
what
Brusco,
AP
okay naman ah.
AP
Okay naman ah.
wiring will be, that's
Okay naman ang laro ni Brusco eh. Hindi ko alam yung mga kritiko na ewan ko kung ano yung nakikita nila na hindi ko nakikita sa laro ni Brusco. Okay naman maglaro si Brusco, boss ah.
What made AP Bren successful?
Predict ko 2-0 idol. Sino sino man nanalo, AP Bren? Ako, for me AP Bren to. Okay, matik yan. Coach Bren versus Coach Dax. Oo nga eh.
And now going back to what
Mas malaki pala prize pool ngayon kaysa nung M5. Nung M5 kasi 900,000 USD. Ngayon, 1 million USD. Bren, 2-0. MPL po ba yung crush? Hindi po, hindi po to MPL. Games of the Future.
Knowing that Arlott is one of those heroes that really like it, it's an open pick. That might be the way for
Check
them
natin
to go.
ha.
Apart from that,
Maganda
Ana is
to,
open,
pre.
as well
Maganda.
as,
Okay, so
which is
ngayon
interestingly
first
the
3 bands
hero of
may
choice for Games of the Future.
Matilda, Joy at
You know, and speaking of
Guinevere.
interesting,
Okay,
drafting from RQ
hindi
Hoshi,
talaga
right?
nakakawala tong
We
Joy,
got to
ano?
see AP
Okay?
Bren, they were favoring the,
Kuha sila ng
CC
CC.
so far in Game of Futures. So they went ahead and took it away from them inside of this
CC,
first pickup.
CC
And then
sila.
top it off,
CC
kinda
sila
look at their
dito.
band so far. They
Onyx
banned out
tapos
the
na.
Navaria,
Mamaya pa po,
hottest pick
mamaya
so
pa.
far.
Wala pong Tagalog coverage. Actually, merong Tagalog coverage eh. Kaya mo, ako na lang magkakas. Ayaw mo ba? Gusto mo ba yan, putra guest? Hola, Kuya Burits. Hello, Mayel. Shoutout sa'yo, Mayel. Ako na lang magcast. Makikinood na. Wait, laki natin yung mukha natin dito, boss. Atin to eh. Oh. Stream natin to eh. Oh. Yan, dapat malaki yung mukha natin. Ayan, okay na yan. Anong kalaban ng Onyx? Ano kalaban ng Onyx? Fireflux. Fireflux po. Live po ba yan yan? Yup, live po. Live. Sorry, sasapawan ko muna yung boses nila. Okay. But may ads, boss. Asan yung ads?
That means that you can't have access to other explainers.
Dapat ikaw bida, stream mo to eh. Oo, bida ako, stream ko to eh. Eliminated na ba Blacklist? Sabi ni Chris, tsaka ni Jazz. Opo, eliminated na.
This is really such a red pattern. Like, pick up the Lilia, match up against
eliminated na po ang Blacklist. Sa ayaw man natin na sa hindi. Ayan. Ano oras na ulit sa lugar sa Russia kung saan ginanap yan? Hindi ko sure eh. Hindi ko alam kung anong oras na doon. Pero feeling ko mga hapon. Gano'n. Shoutout po, sabi ni Love You Hiyesha. Shoutout sa'yo. Makakalaro pa ba sila? Sabi ni Chris. Hindi na po. Hindi na. Sasabayan RQ. Malamang sasabayan. Duty pa ako bukas. Sabi ni Yami, late na stream. Wala eh. Late din yung tournament, pre. Live yan, Pap. Sabi ni Getback. Opo, live yan. Okay. So, analyze natin yung draft. Nakasisi sila. So, most likely, Jungle Dirot to. Lilia. Tapos sa kabila naman, syempre, matic na yan. Baksha Jungle. Faramis mid. Tapos, eto flexible pa tong, Ruby. Okay, ano yung next na ban nila dito? Mino, good ban para sa Apbr. Pwede sila mag-ban ng Arlot kasi yung Arlot na roam para sa Apbr. Ban ng RQ ng Arlot dito, tsaka isang Claude or Carry. Claude Carry. Yan. Check natin. Claude or Carry, tsaka Arlot. Yun yung pwedeng tanggalin ng RQ Hoshi. Para lang sa akin ha. Yuzhong, okay, pwede pa rin. Claude or Carry ang pwedeng tanggalin nila dito. Claude Carry. Claude Carry, boss. Claude Carry. Tingnan natin ha. Get back. Oy, thank you so much sa Finger Heart. On the move, coffee. Uy, maraming salamat pala sa apat na GG. Thank you so much.
The only other marksman that we haven't seen that we haven't seen, I would say really Mage, but ran in the gold.
No, feeling ko Claude Carry ang tatanggalin eh. Claude Carry Bruno. Parang ganon. Lalaro ba Aura kasama si Yahweh? Ay, hindi pa po ito yun. Hindi pwede mag-rock si Ogwen. Tunaw siya dito, boss. Okay, ban Grok. Good ban to, pre. Good ban yan.
So they're gonna have to be kind of stacked together in these engagements to be able to profit from that nether realm. But speaking about profiting, right?
Marksman, pre. Anong marksman ban? Carry, no? Carry Claude. Basta ako carry Claude to, pre. Carry Claude. Ayun, Brody. Okay, tapos na mga bans. So tayo ay ilalagay ko na lang yung sarili ko sa gilid. Yan, let's go.
But overall, just one of the most highly picked marksmen in Game Just 2024.
Yeah, for sure.
Kuha sila ng Carry Claude, tapos RQ Hoshi. Brody na sa isip ko. Yun, naba na nga yung Brody. Ano kaya ano nila dito? Ano kaya yung roam nila? Open? Ah, hindi pala open Matilda. Sorry. Uy, Topa Kids. Okay, so Ruby Roam. Ruby Roam. Mas pogi ka kasi sa dalawang announcer. Uy, grabe ka naman. Pogi parehas yan. Ano ba? Anong green yung hero sa AP brand? Boss, hero ba yan? Oo, hero yan. Ano yan? Faramis. Faramis, boss. Faramis. Harit? Parang mahirap, pre. Mahirap, pre.
kind of going in on that, and I wonder which way it's gonna go. I think
Carry kasi, pagka-carry, kina-counter na ng Harik dun sa golden eh. So,
Yeah.
wala, ban na yung ano eh. Uy, Layla! Layla, pre!
You have the richest caster on the desk. That's
Layla!
$1 million caster,
What?
$1 million Layla.
No. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that they'll do it against Bread. But it, you know, it worked before. It is a great laning. Generally against most
Gagi,
just
Layla.
because of the range. And then they go cool.
So, kailangan mag-isip ngayon ng, ng AP Bren ng hindi mapopoke na hero ng Layla.
So, Brusco now. And maybe this is something that I'll talk about later on.
Hindi, mahirap 1-1 dito, boy. Mahirap 1-1. Saan mapapanood? Sa YouTube po. Sa YouTube.
Forcing him to go for the Kufra.
Naka-restream lang tayo sa
The
YouTube.
Kufra is
From
not
YouTube.
necessarily a bad hero, but it doesn't really
Ito na.
give anything in the mid lane. It will not protect
Pucha.
the Lilia. It will not force out the Faramis because they're gonna be safe. And then the Ruby is just able to scout out
Mag-status
where
nga ako sa
Kufra is.
Facebook
That's
ko.
the thing with the Ruby, right? So you can mirror where the Kufra is, and the Kufra can't do anything. Like, you cannot initiate because you'll always be in front of that Kufra. There's the Clint, as you've mentioned.
Okay, Clint. Ganda. What if mute mga caster tapos ikaw mag-cast? Hindi, okay na yan. Uy, Mikey John, maraming salamat, Sir Rose.
And very strong when it comes to
Lang,
team
alis
fighting
na ako dito sa gilid.
because of the game.
Punta na ako sa gilid,
Massive
boy.
chance for them to take this. So, this is
Dito na ako sa
actually
gilid,
a
ah.
draft between two teams. I'm excited to see what the Layla can bring to the table.
And I'm just as thrilled as you are. We didn't get to see that last pick for what they're going to slot against the Layla in the gold lane. You know, when I tried to guess it last time, that's when the Layla came
Ang
out.
lala, pre, ang lala.
As we're going to jump to the land of Dawn, we'll definitely let you guys know. But nonetheless, we're up for a great match in today's first series of the day, stepping into the virtual arena. We are in the semifinals for Game of Futures 2024. We're going to be seeing Indonesia up against AP Brin, holding the banner from Indonesia and holding the banner for the Philippines. The last Filipino team standing so far as Blacklist was knocked down. Will we be able to see AP Brin push on forth to the grand final, or will we see RQ Hoshi rise to the occasion?
Gonna be close. Is this how Vren defeats his former team? Right? Is it the Layla that we will see in this particular matchup that eventually overcomes AP Bren? Will be able to.
Tatos lang ako, saglit.
I'm looking at the matchups in the.
Gusto nyo bang makinig? Gusto nyo bang makinig sa cast nila? Wait lang, lakasan ko konti.
I gotta say, like, maybe it's still Clint.
Hindi, feeling ko okay na yung ganyan.
Like, if it's a pure 1v1, just because of the passive. And that's always been the case for Clint. He can win the laning stage just because of the passive. And I'm sure that Super Marco is pretty much able to be adept with that hero.
Mainit to, bre.
It's Paquito going after.
Okay, so maganda to, nag-purify si
This is
Pew.
like, very tricky.
Kasi,
It still is matchup
tsaka
based,
tingnan mo, naka, ano siya?
but I gotta say, it's
Naka
probably
quantum
isn't
charge.
CC
Medyo,
favor
lakasan ko
for
konti
Layla.
ah.
It's easier to duel against the Paquito. It's not a win per se, but it's a much easier for that one. But now Few,
Yan,
Yeah, it's
lakasan ko
a
konti.
little bit of damage in the mid lane. I love how you kind of broke down some of these matchups, right? I mean,
Yeah.
when we're looking at the
Lakasan
Layla,
natin
I know it's
konti, pre.
a really late game damage dealer.
Gigil si Rosa agabi, Boss TV, malala ko nga eh.
Those items, and also I always like to call it a glass cannon, right? Very squishy in the beginning,
Yeah.
easy to kill if you can dive, and that should be a focus for AP Brin if they do want to.
Ay, pasensya na, hindi kasi ako pwede mag-ano, hindi kasi ako pwedeng hindi magsalita dito kasi madadali ang aking social media. Madadali ang aking TikTok pag di ako nagsalita at nag-comment dito. Kasi ano to eh, watch party tas comment, commentary.
we haven't really talked much about this Dara.
Di kasi pwede na i-live ko yan dito. Okay. So, magsasalita ako. Sorry guys.
Jungle Dyreth, which we know is a direct answer to the Baksha.
Oh, first turtle.
It has enough burst to counteract the sustain that you can get from the Baksha, and there is no hero from AP Bren, even the Ruby, that can stay in front of the Dyreth.
Games of the future. Oh, naku, patay ata sila dito, pre.
Everybody fighting it out in front of the turtle. It does get reset.
Okay, Brusco.
Activated over there, trying to keep the team alive. Few being able
Nice one.
to proc it. Ogwin will find Irad though. Does take down the Durot we were just talking about. Meaning RQ Hoshi will not. have
pwede sa YouTube,
retribution.
sa YouTube.
First objective will go to AP Brent.
Sorry.
See AP Bren
Kung
after
kung gusto
the
niyo pong
Vengeance
manood
stop
ng
banana
ng
immediately
yung buong
because
commentary,
they dropped it like it's a very
buong
hard
commentary ng game na to
And
sa
then,
YouTube po,
they
pwede po.
went in back for the
Lakasan ko pa
Faramis,
konti.
which
Sige.
allowed them to eventually take out Irad. And after the dash from the Dairoth, that is
Yan.
the main weakness of the
Nilasan
hero,
kong
by the
konti
way.
pa, ha?
No immediate dash afterwards. Oh my
Ooh.
god, that's the problem. You don't... That's the problem with Kufra, right? It doesn't really actually protect teammates anymore. Especially
Yeah,
if you start the fight with the jump.
You kind of called it, the ace in the hole that they need to look out for. The Kufra could be a
Gar malaki ba fanbase ng MLBB sa Russia, sabi ni Jerome? Hindi super eh. Hindi pa ganun kalaki. Actually, sa Russia, ang malakas dyan is Counter-Strike tsaka Dota. So, yun. Ginaji si Ogun. Oo nga, palong-palunin siya, no?
This is where you see the glass cannon of Layla kind of break down.
Yung mga ayaw ng komentary ko, pwede kayong pumunta sa YouTube. Yun. Available siya sa YouTube. Type nyo lang Games of the Future, semifinals, MLBB. Pwede nyo siyang makita. Okta,
to save his teammates and not initiate for now. Because they don't have that
hirap ng Layla dito kasi ano siya eh.
They have the conceal already. That's when they can
Alagain,
make
pre.
out of the Kufra. But for now, your duty as this Kufra for Brusco is just for protecting your teammates.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of protecting teammates,
Pwede pa zoom nyo pa po ng konti. Ay, hindi ko na po siya masusum eh. Naka-fix po siya eh.
Kind of getting a lot of objectives taken from them and having a hard time, they were able to still sustain themselves until Skylar got all of those items necessary.
Pero masakit yung Layla, promise.
To close out the game. So AP Bryn, even though they have the slight advantage, 2 kills up, we need to see them kind of close it out. That's where Deus Foods kind of struggled up against the Layla. Even though they dominated in the early phase, in the mid game.
Sa early naman talaga, makakalamang yung CC dyan eh. Yung kite lang. No?
Sitting really good in the early phase of things.
If you look back to
lamang talaga siya dyan. Pero feeling ko magpa-pure damage si Flap eh. Ganun kasi ginagawa ng AP Bren eh.
They went in for the crab play and they gave it to
nice setup.
Yeah, big
Brusco.
For the stun, hitting Kyle T.
Yun lang, kulang damage pre.
Keeping the team alive.
Ay gagi!
Not gonna deal the damage Irad was looking for, and back to the purple buff he goes. Vengeance proc by Banana, very low. Will
yun lang.
into the mid lane.
Nag-abysm strike siya, akala niya tapos na yung ulti ng para miss. Yun lang dito magos pre.
Irad wanted to go for the play when there is still the Fire Mist ultimate. And unfortunately for RQ Hoshi, this is the power spike for EV. When you have the backshot that at the first turn.
Setup, patay ata. Ay hindi boy.
Speaking of things that are great, massive damage. Destruction Rush able to connect onto Ogwin from Skylar. You're already seeing how heavy of a hitter that Layla can be.
Humabol pa pre. Yun lang. Yatap ka dyan boy. Walang abysm. Pew, nice one.
Down he goes. Pew will take down Irad on the aggressive back lane play.
Nice one.
For AP Brent.
Oh man, Irad just overheating up top. You'll understand why he went for that play. He knows that Super Marco is there, but Ogwin, even with just a quarter HP or even less, he went for the heads-up play to stun Irad so that Super Marco will be able to attack for a bit, maybe lifesteal a bit.
Live yan guys. So live po to, live to.
Kyle TZ jumped into the fray.
Ano nabuo niya?
Weird interaction is that Brusco didn't immediately jump with the Tyrant's Revenge. He waited for
magpa-pure damage. Ganito ginagawa ng AP Bren eh. Kapag naka-pure tank si Kyle, pure damage naman si Flap. First item, Hunter Strike.
He's already in range, right?
Next ata na ito, Malefic eh.
Teammate, but that costed them a death on Irad. So,
nanggigigil si Irad, sabi ni Bern. Feeling ko gigil yan.
Maybe sacrifice your life as the Kufra. You're gonna be way better off if Irad survived that play. So,
pero natatakot kasi ako sa Layla eh, promise. Natatakot ako sa Layla. Tignan natin kung paano nila gagamitin yun.
Things AP Bren could do to shut down RQ Hoshi, and it was definitely putting some discomfort in the gold lane and the XP lane, taking down Skylar.
Huwag galitin si Mayel, mainit ulo. O nga, mainit ng ulo ni Mayel eh. Ilan laban na po? First game pa lang po to, best of 3. Oh, huli. Yatap.
About the lanes, Few will find Skylar, and you are seeing the chase on a Brusco. Flap TZ gonna hit him with the heavy left punch. That is going to be 2 more kills for the side of AP Bren, and now a 4,000 gold lead.
Masyadong alagain yan. Wala silang early damage eh. Yung Lilia kasi may ano yan eh. May damage naman siya sa pero mid pa eh. Abysm, nice sakto. Galing.
Okay, never mind. Okay, the mechanic working on it.
Yeah, I would
Ito.
say, I mean, while you
Mahirap
got the
yung
team
Layla.
on the
Mahirap
bot
yung
side,
Layla
though, you
kasi
can see
mabilis lang
Flat TZ
talaga
take that
hulihin.
tier 2 turret. So
Kaya
they have
nag-quantum
map
charge yan para
control
may additional
for the
movement
side
speed.
AP Brand and also a great gold lead. Even though
Yeah.
they didn't
Ano
claim
na
that
item ni Skylar? Hindi ka
turtle, I would
napansin?
still say overall that's a better trade for them, which is how far ahead they are for RQ Hoshi. They need to start translating some of these objectives in their
Light
favor,
entrance
right?
yun,
Maybe
para
opening
kay
up the
Few.
map would be a great
Set
start
up,
because I
Brusco.
don't know
Wala.
if AP Brand's the type of team that's going to
Yung
let them take it to
Brusco
a
ba,
30-minute game like
Lods
Days
Pinoy
Gold.
din? Yap, opo.
Yeah,
Galing siyang
AP Brand is
Minana
known
Evos.
to go for the, you know, like
Siya ang dating roamer ng Minana.
Should have aimed for that. That's definitely what AP Brand is trying to do almost all the time, especially the way that they're drafting.
2-0 ba rin?
And
Tingnan natin, tingnan natin.
From their
Pero
previous
maganda ang
rotations. Like every rotation, be it micro or macro
maganda ang laro ng
rotation,
AP Brand ngayon.
benefits the team in general.
Kasi
Like, for
comfy
example,
sila dun sa mga heroes
what I
na
said
meron sila.
earlier, when they went in for the play
Ang hirap
up
niyan
top
kasi
for
walang
Super
aabot
Marco,
kay
they
Super
gave it the,
Marco.
gold round. That's
Pasa ngayon
that
kasi
looks
ang
like a
ganda ng
small
ano
play,
ganda
but
ng
if you compound all of those plays all together,
ganda
you
ng
can see
front
AP
line
Brand really
dito
just
ng
dominating
AP
the map
Brand.
afterwards. Then after this before the turtle fight, they moved
Oh
in a
my
way
caster.
that they were able to poke RQ Hoshi. They were
Galog
able
ang
to poke
putik. Oh,
both
Pinoy yan,
Octa.
Pinoy.
Then that meant that they can
Retry.
push easily.
Patay yata si Banana.
Yeah, big play on the
Grabe
way.
yung damage, no?
They opted in on the conceal play, just went straight forward as a full 5-man team to be able to take him down. Used a lot of utility though, but was able to extend that kill lead now 6-0. I mean, this gold is steady climbing. They're up by like
For me,
6,000 gold now.
hirap talaga nitong Layla.
2 above RQ
Available ang
Hoshi.
Claude, di ba?
RQ Hoshi
Available
has
ang
yet to
Claude,
find a kill
available
so
ang
far
carry.
in
So
this
hindi
entire
yun
game, as we are
hindi
hitting
yun yung
that 10
pinuntahan
minute
nila.
mark. A little bit of a struggle
Hirap nito.
in today's matchup. But like we said, RQ Hoshi,
Pinoy
when
ba
they
sa
pick up the
Skylar? Hindi
Layla,
po Indo.
they're banking on the late game. We know
Indonesian.
we're going to lose a little bit in the early phase, in the mid phase even, but if we can hold off, they can turn this around. But AP Brin, like
Kaya
you said,
naman
going
ata ni
straight for
Flap.
the head,
Kaya ni
cutting
Flap
the head off
i-burst
the
yan.
serpent.
Full
That's what
damage
they're
yan
looking
eh.
to do.
Oh,
Trying to
hindi
shut him
tumama.
down. You already
Patay
see big
ata.
setup, though.
Banana. Kyle.
And half HP Kyle TZ going in for
Yun
it.
lang,
Flap
boy.
is joining him. We'll take him down. Netherrealm to keep AP Brin alive. Flap TZ will find Irad with a heavy left punch. 2 members falling for RQ Hoshi, and
Octa.
the Lord Pit has been controlled by
Op.
AP Brin. But
Ganda,
can we see
bros.
RQ Hoshi
Tingnan mo yung zone,
turn this
oh.
around? No. Looks like they
Grabe
are going to
yung
have to
zone,
miss
oh.
the They don't have the numbers. They don't have
Pucha.
the damage. And they're also too far
Ngayon
behind
yan,
in
boss,
the
o kanina.
economy.
Ngayon, live yan ngayon.
It can now be proven that AP Brand is
Sa mga sa mga gustong makinig na wala yung boses ko dito. Oh,
Pushes in
patay.
on the Skylar, Flap
Wala yung
TZ.
boses ko dito. Sa YouTube, pwede po kayo sa YouTube.
The dynamic duo in effect.
Sakit,
Briscoe very low,
gogi.
makes his way into the tier 2 turret, which may open up the opportunity for Ogwin to try and push.
Ihirap talaga sila dito sa ang tandi ng burst dito ng ng AP Brand.
Invasion. Man, overall, such a great game for
Tapos di nila mapapatay si Flap, promise.
What do they do to turn this
Pew
around?
na purify, tapos may nether
they
realm
have to
sila.
regain the
Mahirap
tempo
yan,
at the
pre.
very least. Second, if they can't do that, the only other option here is to just survive this mid game. Just make sure that you don't lose your base. Maybe try to win
Op,
when
op.
everyone is locked for
Patay
3
na. Aray,
minutes.
kung sakit.
But
Tunaw
that's
ko agad
very
si
difficult
Irad,
to do.
pre.
Yeah, definitely gonna be a challenge.
Ilan import ng RQ? Dalawa. Si, Irad, tsaka si Brusco.
Down goes the tier 2 turret
Hirap
in the mid
niyan,
lane.
boy.
And now you're looking at RRQ Hoshi stripped down to their inhibitors.
Yeah. Difficult now
may win
for,
condition
RQ
tong
Hoshi, for sure.
RRQ Hoshi.
I gotta say,
Kailangan
there
lang
was
nilang
this
ma-extend
play
yung
that
laro.
AP Bren
Kaya lang
did
kasi
get
hindi
in
yun
the
yung
lane
gusto ng
there.
AP Bren eh.
Super
Kung titignan mo
Marco
yung lineup
looked
nila,
to
di ba?
be
Early
alone
damage.
in the mid lane when he's pushing. But
Early
already
damage,
Flap TZ
pre.
is pushing
Hirap yan.
is already positioned in that bush near the mid lane. So that left side of the turret. That's why even
Pinoy
after
din Coach
the
RQ. Si Vren,
initiation,
Coach
even after
Vren.
Brusco
Si Coach
could
Vren
trigger
po.
Tyrant's Revenge, and we know that Octa is there for damage.
Gasan si
AP Bren
Brusco?
is prepared.
Minana,
This
from
tells
Minana.
us that
Minana Evos.
Whatever AP Bren is doing, they're doing the
Meron ba
body
nito sa
system
YouTube,
on the same,
Bullish?
or
Yup,
at the
meron,
very
meron,
least, they're
meron.
making
Check,
a macro
search
play
nyo
for it.
lang
In that specific
Games
case,
of the
like,
Future,
look at the bush that
Semifinals,
TZ is holding.
MLBB. Yan.
If somebody shows himself
Coach Trevor,
in the
pakita
mid
mo
lane,
sino ka.
it's an ambush, right? So
Oo nga,
nobody
Vanilla Ice, no?
from
Kasama
AP
pala
Bren
si
is
Trevor
ever
dito.
alone.
Pero hindi
They
ata
will
siya
not
naka-line up
make
eh.
the
Sa
play
ano,
that
kasama lang
looks
siya,
like
pero
they're
wala siya dyan sa
isolated.
Games of
This
the
is
Future.
championship
Hindi ata siya
caliber
naka-line up
team
eh.
that you're seeing.
Yun ang
They have
pagkakalam ko.
plans every time that they're trying
Check
to
ko.
move.
And this is kind of looking similar to the game.
Ang alam
with
ko,
Days
hindi siya
Gold
naka-line
against
up eh.
RQ Hoshi when RQ Hoshi picked up the Layla of Skylar. And the problem was Days Fultz was not able to close the game out, even with this massive boost in the economy and the objectives overall on the map. But AP Brent, letting the world know, hey, we are the champions and we planned to let it stay
Hindi, naka-line up
that
siya,
way.
naka-line
They
up
are
siya.
gonna go in with the concealed play. Kyle
Naku,
TZ
patay
initiating
ata. Boy,
onto RQ Hoshi.
huli ka, boy.
Double stun.
Brusko.
He's gonna find Irad, one member falling. And it looks like RQ Hoshi will be forced back into the base. AP Brin in total control.
Hirap yun, boy.
Wow.
Saan makakanood? Games of the Future sa YouTube po, sa YouTube.
Not losing at all. You can see RQ Hoshi being desperate for farm. They're trying to do
Hirap ng Layla dito. Last pick nila yung Layla, di ba? Di ba kanina kino-consider ko yung Claude tsaka Carry? Kasi yung kukunat niyan, boy, oh. Tapos ang daming lockdown. Claude ka, tapos Purify. Carry, Purify ka. Yung mga ganun. Pero hirap niyan.
Winding up, decides to hit a quick 180. Wasn't able to find the opportunity.
Ayan na,
Skylar
boy.
trying to get the steal.
Galit na,
Unable to
patay ka,
connect with
Brusco.
Destruction Rush. AP Brin
Patay si
will
Brusco.
claim this Lord and a body
Sakit ni
assist.
Marco, pre.
will take down Brusco. I would call
Ba't
that
wala
a
yung aura sa
2-for-none
GOF?
trade.
Dalawa lang po yung
And
ano
right
eh.
now, we haven't
Representative
seen
ng
RQ Hoshi
Indo
really
eh.
take any objectives,
RRQ
no
lang
kills.
tsaka
And
Onic
so
eh.
far, it's been more of a reactionary side of things for them. AP
Mukhang
Brin
tulog, pre
just
ah.
controlling the tempo.
Mukhang may tulog ang ano ah. Ang RRQ Hoshi dito ah.
Heavily reactive. They're not making the heads-up play. Right? They're not making.
No, mukhang may
That's what
tulog,
I'm trying
pre.
to say here for RQ Hoshi. They're always just reacting to what APBR is doing. And
Ang
that
hirap
is how
nito,
you know a
unang-una
team
wala silang
has control
lockdown.
the tempo, right? So whatever is happening to RQ Hoshi right now,
May crowd control sila, pero hindi directly lockdown. And ang kailangan mo lang naman, makalusot si Few eh. Pag ligtas si Few, madali lang eh. Purify si Few, di ba? Op,
Yeah, speaking about taking control, stepping into the base for RQ Hoshi for a possible early
Aray
finish.
ko, bes.
AP Brin trying to seize the opportunity, but the Lord is getting bursted down. It has now fallen, and out of the base, AP Brin goes. Now, it is now 15 minutes in, getting to that 15-minute mark. Like we said, the later the game goes, the better it'll be for RQ Hoshi to be able to turn this around. When the nature picked up from Super Marco, definitely getting
sabi
ready
ni
to kind of
Ako
take that
Iran
fight
Uchiha,
and
o
negate
hindi.
physical damage. As you're
Actually,
also
napag-practice
possible to go in
nila
and
yan
try
eh.
and
Hindi
take
naman
some
nila
of these
ilalabas
remaining
yung kundi yan
turrets.
kasama sa mga scrims nila, sa mga, ano nila,
Very
no.
disciplined in this
Hindi nila
position.
ilalabas
They're
yan,
leading by so
promise.
much. Gonna try to dive. I think
Yeah,
he's
feeling
the-
ko, kasama to sa mga practice
That's
nila.
gonna be deadly.
And
I mean,
na-consider
that is
nila dahil
your
may
way of
may
dealing
potential
with
naman
the late,
talaga.
even in the latter portions of the game, even in the late game. Surely the win of nature for Skylar will be key, and I think that he will pick that up later on. But
For me
imagine
kasi, available yung Claude,
refreshing
available
fight.
yung
That
Carry.
outward pickup coming out from Flap TZ is gonna destroy Skylar.
Aray
Yeah,
ko,
it's gonna be very
grabe.
hard, right, for the side of RQ Hoshi to turn this around. I mean,
Isang
Brusco,
heavy left
up
punch
to a
lang,
rough start,
pre,
not
no?
really able to find the opportunities
Isang
for the sets he
sapak,
was looking for. And it's
puta.
gonna be a challenge, especially going up against Ogwin on this.
Shoutout
movie.
Boss
I mean,
King,
even if he
nagla-live
tries
ko
to
rin
get
pala
Tyrus Revenge,
MML.
Tyrus Rage,
Sino si
great
Boss
group
King?
setup. I mean,
Di ako si
Ogwin
Boss
just has
King,
to provide a
Bibjas
little bit of chain CC to kind of stop him in his tracks. And I feel like that's a little bit of the struggle we've been seeing so far for him.
Boss,
to
ilang
be
team
able
na lang
to get those
natitira?
setups that
Apat.
RQ Hoshi is baiting for.
Yeah.
Ano sa tingin niyo ba't ginamit
Coming
Layla
up
ng
with both
RRQ?
ways for RQ
Basta ito lang yan ha, hindi yan gagamitin ng
Number one
RRQ
option
kung hindi yan
obviously is just
part
to,
ng mga
rely
scrims
on the
nila.
late game
Hindi
of
yan
play
part
now,
ng
which is,
lineup nila, no? Kung
honestly,
papansinin mo,
not a bad idea.
nakalimutan ko kung anong team yung
That's the
nagban ng
only way.
Layla against RRQ
There's
Hoshi.
really no other way for them to win this game apart from really depend on Skylar and his immense amount of damage in the late game. So how do they get that to that point?
Medyo mahirap
magic
to
number
kasi
is
kung
23
titingnan mo
minutes, so everybody's
walang
just,
instant
farming
burst ang RRQ
out.
Hoshi. Continuous damage lang.
Everybody's just locked item.
Bukod kay Irad,
Wouldn't
syempre,
matter
yung
if you
ano
just
niya,
won
yung
the game
combo
or
niya.
maybe
Pero hindi mo
all the
isa-sacrifice
players.
kasi yung combo ni
Wouldn't
Irad
matter
eh.
as long as you keep your base.
Yung Abyssem
And their
strike niya
defense
para sa
will be
isang
there. You have
hero
the
eh.
Lilia anyways to breach you
AP
in that
Bren,
late game because
kung
they're clear.
extended team fight
And
lang
again,
pag-uusapan na
will AP Bren allow
sobrang
that?
taas niyan.
Because
Kyle,
so
Ogwen,
far,
tapos si
AP
Few.
Bren
Di ba
will have
babasa-basa
now the
mahuli si
luxury
Few
to go
dito?
for
Conceal,
Banana.
huli sila. -1 sila, Gigista. -1 Gigista.
Taking
Oh, no.
him down. Ice Cream Sunday. We'll be able to find one member, RQ Hoshi.
GG's
trying to get
pre.
that contest on that last minute Lord still.
GG's.
Didn't work out in his favor, and that's going to put RQ Hoshi
Balikan
in
ko
a
no,
disposition in this
si Few,
team fight.
hindi nila basta-basta matutunaw ang AP
Really
Bren.
questionable play coming up from
Hanggat
Banana,
hindi
going
nila
for that.
nahuhuli
I
si
mean,
Few.
they've already
And hindi mo
conceded
basta-basta
Lord.
mahuli si Few, Puta,
They have
purify yan,
to
pre.
really look into that Lord, knowing that there's a lot of catch from AP Bren.
Ayan na,
You have
GG's.
Kyle Easy, and you have Ogun with the
GG's,
trigger
pre.
and Flap
GG's.
Easy. Then you're a CC with only one legitimate dash. So, really questionable play coming up from Banana out there.
GG's.
And AP Brin holding
Set
the banner
up,
for
pack,
the
Brusco.
Philippines. Try and find their first game
Uy, kaya
of the
pa,
day
kaya pa.
up against Indonesia
Kaya pa.
or RQ Hoshi. But some great defense. They were able to burst down.
Gagawin sakit din ni
That
Skylar,
to
oh.
hold off AP Brin from closing out this game a second time. Mentioned that 23 mark being the time that we are going to be looking to for RQ
Pero basag lahat ng
Hoshi to
tore
have the
nila, pre.
damage necessary with all the late game items for Skylar to turn this around. Trust in Layla, the $1 million baby in the scenes, could make the difference.
Apbr are gonna be disciplined once more. I wanna keep this 12-0
Ba't sumihilip
downset
si
as
Banana
much as
naging
possible.
Toron tuloy?
I don't understand why. RQ Hoshi gonna have to really commend their defense.
Naging
Even
Toro
when it
lang
was 4v5,
puta.
they were able to keep Skylar safe.
Sorry
That's
dito
always
kasi
gonna be
dito
the
ako
case. And
dito
like
ako
I said, Lilia is
nakakapagmura ako
the
dito
bridge
sorry.
for them to
Sa
get
broadcast
to
kasi
the
hindi kami
late game
makapagmura
instead of the
So
bombs.
dito na lang magmumura, okay?
But now, LTZ wants to fight.
In Layla we trust.
Octa very low, trying to get away.
Delix
Use the
ata
black
sila,
cubes.
boy.
Ogre on
Delix
the
sila,
chase,
boy.
but a massive damage output.
GG's
Another
na,
one down.
GG's,
Super Marco
GG's.
will find Brusco. Few takes down Octa. 2 members down from the side of RRQ Hoshi. Make that a third as Super Marco
GG's.
gets another.
GG's,
He's gonna go ahead
GG's.
and shut down Irad, leaving Skylar and Banana, the side laners who've been dealing so much damage in Game of Futures 2024 by
GG's.
themselves.
Aray ko, pre,
Easy,
2
How
hits.
easy will shut down the $1 million baby. Skylar will fall.
The $1 million baby.
Trying to get away, but running the wrong direction. Looks like he won't be able to contest. They're just gonna let him get out of there. He's not gonna be able to recall back. Still will get the kill and a full wipeout against RRQ Hoshi. Apbr takes game number
GG's.
1.
That is a clinic from Apbr. This is how you win as a team. Absolutely perfect rotations in the early stages. Even their calculated takes on those crabs just to allow for Super Marco to
Shout out
have,
Chris, shout out Nico,
extra
shout out Ian.
launchpad going up
Shout out
against his
sa'yo,
matchup. They played out the draft really well.
Izanami,
This
thank you
clip,
so much
the
sa
last
pag-follow,
pick
sa lahat
coming
naman
out from
nagpa-follow.
Apbr was perfect because
Lala,
they
boy.
solved that Layla problem when it comes to the laning stage. Make it real difficult
Ang
for
lala,
Skylar
0-17,
to stay
pre.
on top. And that also called the attention of the Kufra. And we can see through the highlights how
Pero
that happened
legit
again.
mahirap
Look at
talaga
the plan of
paganahin
the
yung
Paris
gandang
Saint-Germain
lineup. Wala kang early game damage na asahan.
activation, and Irad
Yung
was already in behind enemy lines. You can see
Hirap yan,
Brusco
pre.
just charging up far too late, and that allowed Few to catch up. Few was able to take out Irad.
Wala Filipino broadcast. Meron pong
Least
Filipino broadcast.
indecisions
Meron
coming out
po,
from
meron.
RQ Hoshi, just
Kung gusto
really
nyo, check
hit him
nyo
in
po
the
sa
end.
YouTube.
Yeah, I mean,
Yung Filipino broadcast. Pero dito kasi, naka-ano tayo eh. Naka-international tayo, pre. Ayan. Kala, thank you so much sa 10 roses. Maraming salamat po na nagsisend ng rose. Oh, let's lay lahat, abi naman. May live dito sa FB. Hindi ko alam eh. YouTube meron. Yun. Doon ako sa YouTube.
Little to no problem. Like you kind of mentioned in the beginning of things,
Hirap, boy, oh.
she was very reactionary.
Nakita mo, di ba hindi nila matutunaw? Hindi nila matutunaw yung Apbr. Bukod sa laging sama-sama, wala rin sila talagang way para pantunaw. Si Irad, oo, pero item dependent kasi yung dirot eh. Tsaka malambot, pre. Hindi mo pwede i-defensive. Hindi mo pwede i-defensive yan eh. MD Talamasca, shoutout sa Laila pa ginawang rag game. Hindi ko alam, boss.
We're letting the Layla take us out.
Di mo lang nakakilo. Nga, 0-17, right? 0-17.
And they
Ish.
kind of spelled that
Hirap,
RKOC
pre.
overstayed outside their base just for what, 10 or 15 seconds?
Hanabi
They're
naman,
already punishing them for
Skylar.
that. Even after some of the defense for RKOC, even before the
Hanabi
fight
naman, pre.
out,
Hanabi
I already
naman.
know that this is gonna be a bad decision from RKOC. And what I'm trying to
Kailan
say
laro
here
ng
is,
Onyx? Mamaya po, after
at
nitong
this
game na to.
point, 18 minutes.
After nitong game na to.
There's no license for RQ Hoshi to get out of their base. They're basically quarantined. in
Kailangan nila
their base,
mag-ano?
And they don't have the pass from the government.
Kailangan nila
to let
mag
them out. That's exactly what they
reset.
should be thinking
Kailangan ng
during that
reset to,
moment.
matinding
And it
reset,
only
pre.
took
Kasi
one sniff from
na ano
both,
eh, na
both
nauga
as
sila
well as
dun, boy eh.
Calvisi to
Onyx
know that,
versus
okay,
ano sabi
they're
ni
out of their
Zek
base,
Hanma,
this is our
Onyx
opening.
versus
That's exactly
Fireflux.
what happened.
Yan.
Apbr
Kahapon kasi natalo yung
is
Blacklist eh. So
pulling
Fireflux
and
kalaban nila.
outplaying RQ Hoshi just because of the fact that they're more experienced.
Pero ito
as
legit
well
ah.
as they have the
Magsi-champion
better
dito
tempo
Apbr.
control. They knew
Yun na yun.
exactly how to deal with this composition, and they've punished duly. Our MVP.
That Hanabi
Super
comment
Marco.
is sending me.
And I mean, we cannot really.
Shoutouts to you, MD
Talamasca.
Talamasca.
As well as his positioning and the damage dealt as well.
Fireflux. Ang lakas ng Fireflux kahapon. Hindi ko alam kung napanood nyo ba yung game kahapon ng Fireflux. Napaganda. Puto chocolate gaming pre oh.
To make that possible. I I mean, look at Ogwin right there. His
Choco.
stats are on the board, 11 assists. But I got to give credit to Few and Kyle Teasy as well, as they were right behind Ogwin, just showing you how
Game 2
much
prediction,
synergy
boss.
AP Brin has
Tingnan muna
compared to
natin
a
yung
lot of
lineup,
other teams.
Jonas
You
Guerra,
mentioned
ha?
RQ Hoshi.
Tapos
They
tsaka
were
tayo
on the
mag-predict.
scene,
Ang
still
lala,
a really
pre.
good team. They've been taking the world by surprise, and I
Gogi,
know
Choco,
Indonesia's
men.
proud on how they've
Choco.
been performing so far. But AP Brin,
Sagad-sagad pagbasa
they're
yung
the world
Firefox sa
champions, right?
blacklist.
They definitely
Sa,
have
sa
been
tagal na
playing a
nilang
little bit
naglalaro,
longer
sa tagal
and
na
have
nilang
earned that
sasama.
title from M5. And they
Ginto
don't plan
tsaka
on
Choco.
going down without a
Hindi, ito
fight.
yan na,
Now,
ito
that
yan
is
na.
only game number 1.
Kung gumana yan sa
This is a
scrim,
best of 3,
pwede nilang
so
gamitin
there
yan.
is still a chance
Kaya lang,
for
ang problema
RQ
kasi,
Hoshi to be able to turn this around,
AP
but
Brin 2.
I
Ano
don't
ka
see
ba?
them pulling out the
Best
Lele
in the
Gun. I
world.
don't really think it worked out. I feel
ISF,
like even if
ISF World
they
Esports
went in with
Champion,
Brusco on a different
SEA
roamer,
Games
to be able to
Champion,
protect her
Gold
a little bit
Medalist,
better, the early
MPL
game
Season 12
objectives
Champs,
and even
M5
toward the
Champs.
mid-phase
Hindi
from
ka
AP
pwede
Brin
maglayla
is
dyan,
very
pre.
hyper-focused, it's fast,
Bren
and you
versus
can't have
finals
more of a
predict.
passive
Bren
play
versus
style
Onyx.
against it. They need
Ayan.
something
Pero
that can
magi-game
either
3 sila
match the
mamaya.
aggression
Yun ang
from the
prediction ko.
side of AP Brin or beat them to the punch.
Buti pa GFF pinapakita stats after game. Haha.
My God, look at that! Look at that difference
Grabe.
when it comes to the farm.
Oy, Mirachi, kung napanood nyo kahapon,
Well, it really isn't like Skylar's
sobrang
fault that
lala.
happened. It was
Sobrang lala
maybe
ng
because of the
ng
movement
Fireflux.
from
Wait lang
AP Brin.
tatabunan ko
I think that
sila.
I've already said it twice when we were casting. But I'm just saying it again.
Tatabunan ko lang
Micro
sila,
and
wait,
macro rotations coming
Tapos
out from
sinaan
AP
ko lang
Brin.
ng konti.
Perfect.
Okay.
Way that they're setting up each other
Yan.
to be able to get the most out
Ang
of
lala
what
nung
they're given.
kahapon. Ang
For
lala nung
example,
kahapon
they
kasi,
start to also go for the
di ba
push
pagka
into the
nag-i-stream
big
ako,
turtle,
sinasabi ko, di ba, ako pinakamatapang na Layla dito. Ganun. Ay, ako pinakamatapang na Lilia. Nakita ko nung napakatapang na Lilia. Isipin mo sa first turret, sa third turret, tapos sa main base, tapos may turret pa dun sa may taas. Pinapasok ng Layla, pre, tapos biglang napakatapang. Di mo pagbiro si Boss Bob, baka di magets. The feeling ko naman, gets nila kung bakit. I mean, binibigyan ko kasi ng benefit of a doubt yung yung lineup. Malala na naman matatanggap na criticism ni Bruce garing RRQ fans. Ganun talaga. Yun ang downside ng mga malalaking fanbase. Siyempre merong plus kapag sobrang laki na yung fanbase mo. For example, Blacklist. For example, ang pinakamagandang example pala is RRQ. Ang RRQ sa Indonesia, mga mga god yan, pre. Mga artista yan. Kala mo mga god. Tapos, siyempre kapag malakas yung team mo, pagka malakas ka, uulan ka siyempre ng uulan ka ng suporta galing sa kanila. Pero siyempre kapag natalo kayo, expect mo na may backlash.
How synergized their compositions were, where they were focusing on these
Wait
objectives.
lang.
Every time they found a member by themselves from the side of
But
RQ Hoshi.
kaya pala. Okay, sige, wait lang Kaya pala, ang dilim ng camera ko. Hindi pala yung ilaw ko. Wait lang
They know, hey, we have the numbers. These little
Mas malinaw
small
na.
objectives is what will make the difference toward that mid phase.
Sorry,
And especially if they
kaya
have
pala
a late game,
malabo.
let them get to the late game. So
Yung
it's a
Rosa
little
high
bit
risk, high
matter.
reward. Oo nga,
Honestly,
grabe,
some great
di ba?
execution from them inside of that match. Now, looking at the side of RQ Hoshi, right? I mean, this is a
Pero
different
legit,
game than
mahirap
we've seen
talaga
from
mag-Layla
Skylar
dito.
Brusco.
Kasi,
When Skylar has to
una,
play Layla, he's required to
napakarami
play
nilang
really far
panghuli.
back in that lane
May back
and
siya
try to be
Ruby
very
na pwedeng
passive.
tumalon sa likod
Normally,
yun.
we see him take the
Diba?
fight a little bit
Flicker
more
siya.
inside the goal lane, be more aggressive,
Hindi
and
ko
also
hindi
have
ko rin
some,
kasi alam kung ano
survivability.
magandang
We know
spell ng
Layla's one of
Purify,
the,
pero pagka
key
na-layer mo
markers
kasi yung
that
skills,
lacks mobility
once
and
na mapop yung
survivability in the lane
Purify, yari ka na
requires the roamer to kind of
Diba?
babysit and
May
protect her at
layering
all
of
times.
skills kasi na
Skylar
tinatawag.
was the first kill of the
So
game,
kapag umistan
you know,
ka,
and as a marksman,
antayin mo
as a
muna yung
goal laner,
duration ng
that's
stun.
definitely not something you want, especially before the first turtle spawning in. And on a
Antayin mo
late
muna
game
yung
marksman that's
duration ng
supposed to
stun
kinda
bago
carry
ka
you through
mag-stun
the way.
uli.
So I think
So ganun yung
maybe
ginagawa
stepping
nila.
into game number 2
Idol, wag ka
for
maingay.
Skylar,
Ay, sorry
maybe
naman,
we see
tol.
some of the
Kasi
pickups
stream
that
ko to
we've
eh.
seen him kinda dominate on so far
Komentary
in
ko
the,
to eh.
Future
Stream ko to,
2024.
pre.
We've seen him on the
Sorry.
Claude, you've seen him on the Beatrix. All
Don't blame
survival
Brusco and the
options to
players. For
definitely,
me,
take
Layla
it to
drop
the next
talaga.
level up against,
Sabi ni Talamasca, MD. Shoutout Wild Boy. Shoutout sa mga viewers natin sa YouTube. Hello po. Tsaka sa TikTok. Hello sa inyo. Hindi ko, basta bahala na. Nanalo na ba RQ sa lahat ng laban nila sa Bren or new AP or new AP Bren? Hindi ko alam yung statistics or yung data. Pero yung itong form ngayon ng AP Bren, siguro hindi pa. Or
was for
hindi
the
ko alam kung
Kufra.
nagkaharap na sila.
Although we know for sure
Hindi
that
ko sure
Brusco
eh.
knows how to play that hero, they were put
Anong
in a
oras ka
spot
tulog
where
yan?
they had to choose a
Tatapusin ko
roster
tong tournament.
for
Tatapusin ko to.
Brusco.
Ay, wait lang. Kukuha
That's
lang pala ako
number
ng
one, not
chicha
meta.
para may ano
Number
naman
two,
tayo.
cannot
Pwede
accomplish
may Harit
anything
good. Ano?
close to what a Ruby can
Harit.
accomplish, right?
Okay din naman
If you
Harit.
remember that first
Legit.
blood, I said
Wait lang
that
wait lang.
the Kufra should be delegated in the spot where you're a defensive hero now. Because what they did was to initiate with the Tyrant's Revenge, the first kill of the Kufra, charged up, actually hit Super Marco, but because it's the early game, Layla cannot take out Super Marco in a span of few seconds. Because when Brusco jumped, there's no angle for an ultimate anyways. And
Kailangan ko ng
I
food
don't
trip,
think that
pre.
ultimate was available anyways that
Hindi ko
time. So
kinakaya ang mga
what I'm trying to
nangyayari.
say here is that surely they hit their shots with the Kufra, but does that accomplish anything? Didn't even pull Kufra. That meant that when that was communicated, Ogwin already knew that there's no defense at all. There's no bouncing ball that can stop the Ruby to go for the play and actually snag Skylar, right? So that is where you struggle. Maybe if they kind of change their minds during that clash, right? For the Kufra to just maybe run in front of Super Marco and just hit him, just
Ano oras
be a
game 2?
nuisance that
After
game.
ng game 1.
Then maybe reserve the bouncing ball as well as the first kill for when the Ruby is actually there to target.
Pagkatapos ng game 1,
his
tol.
own
Race to
teammate
3 yan,
and
boss.
maybe think a little
Ah,
bit different, right? The first
Di ko alam eh.
might not
Ito
have
joke lang.
been
Best
for
of
the
3
Layla.
to. Unang makadalawa,
So,
syempre.
the summary of
Hindi
what I'm
race to
trying
3.
to say here is that
Feeling ko baka ma-target ban si Rosa mamaya.
the delegation of tasks wasn't there
Sino ba nagpapahirap? Feeling ko hindi si
for
Rosa
Santa
kasi
Marco.
sobrang
That's
lawak
why
ng
they
hero pool
struggled.
nun.
And there are so much
Nag-game 1 na
limitations
po
of
ba?
the
Opo,
Kufra
tapos na
that now
1-0 na in
compared
favor
to
of
Ruby, the Ruby can accomplish so
ano,
much more than a
AP
Kufra.
Brand.
And it's the same
Ano,
thing with
lista
the
mo na,
Layla,
Kois. Hindi
and the
hindi ko
Clint as
sure
well.
talaga
There's
eh.
so much
Mag 1 AM na taga.
accomplished that the,
Hindi na, syempre
Layla
nagpe-prepare
can't.
pa yun,
So like
guys.
you
Ano
said,
ka
they were
ba?
limiting
Sabi ni
themselves to
Zylods
these
po,
objectives
pa-shoutout
in terms
watching
of
from
the lane
Mexico,
phase,
Pampanga.
and
Shoutout
that's
sa inyo.
kinda costing
Tsaka
them
sa
lucky
mga,
so
ano,
late
mga taga
during game
Pampanga, by the way.
one.
Galing
Now,
pala kami dyan nung
there
M5
was a lot
watch
of
party.
sustainability on the table, and I gotta give
Andiyan
credit
kami
over
nila
there to AP
Qwerty,
Brin
andiyan kami nila
on how
Butters.
well they executed with racking up those assists,
Saan
right?
yung
I mean,
Chippy?
you
Wala,
had
naka
Q
ano ako,
rushing in.
naka
Every time we seen,
Tortilla
'cause they
ako.
had early game damage from the side of RQ Hoshi. They not only had a Lilia, but they went Irad on the Dairoth inside of the jungle. Which
Ngayon
is a
naman ay
great answer,
mag-ASMR tayo
like
habang
you
wala pa.
mentioned, over to Kyle TZ on the Boxia. But again, as soon as he rushed in, he either had
Ano
Ogre by
pulutan,
himself
Sir Burrito?
inside,
Sabi ni
and
Talamas
he
kay
the
MD.
Dairoth
Wala,
finished off
ano
the Invisible
to,
Strike, and if he wasn't
tortilla
there,
lang.
no worries. Few would kind of snip into the scene and get that Nether Realm.
Boss,
activated,
predict
be
mo
able to
FF
keep
versus
the team
Onyx,
alive, even
di
when
napapansin.
the
Sabi dyan,
Invisible Strike
Albert
would connect
Reyes
him.
Recinto.
That was just some great execution on the fight.
Feeling ko best of 3, magti-3 yan eh. Magti-3 games yan. Pero Onyx ako. Onyx, ano to? Rematch ng Grand Finals.
Inside of game number 1, especially
Masarap ko yung Spilo, sabi ni Vanilla Ice. Wala kasi ako pre. Kung ano lang yung nabili namin sa grocery yung nakaraang araw. Yun ang kinakain ko ngayon.
I don't expect them to pop the Layla again. I expect to see the RQ Hoshi that I've been seeing so far in the group stages for games of future, and also inside of the quarterfinals, where they actually go in for more pickups. That
Battle for
they
third
don't
prediction,
rely on
Onyx versus
protecting the
RQ.
Western
Wala
teams.
pa,
They're not
accelerate.
really
Kalma ka
as
lang.
reactionary, but they can take that
Feeling ko
fight
Onyx din yan.
into the jungle, onto those turtles, even possibly invade where necessary, and that's where they can kind of turn this around. Because if not, then we will be seeing AP Brin push on forward, the last standing team out of the Philippines, taking out one of the 2 teams currently still in the mix.
Si
for
Chips
Indonesia.
na incoming hero sa'yo
If I were to
kinuha.
guess,
Hindi
I
ko
think
alam.
that maybe the reaction here for
Game na.
for Hoshi is to actually prioritize the hero for Mr. Brusco. Maybe
Nag-check
just
ping
to
po mo mga bago
pull
mag-game.
it
Oo
to the,
naman, syempre.
first phase. Get the Ruby
Dot,
as much as
pogi mo idol. Mas
possible,
pogi
or,
ka.
maybe secure the Minotaur, right? Those kinds of heroes so that Brusco will have a lot more impact. But oh my god, the Ruby was already, because
Nakasan
AP
natin
Brin
konti,
knows that their first pick. So you saw from the previous game, Ruby is such a good red side hero wherein you first pick it or first phase pick it, it's quite open.
Ano? Tortillas
that
pala
would be
sikreto
the
pang
priority
palaki ng
now.
muscles.
The hack
Hindi
of Brusco strat might
Alam niyo ba,
be the thing
nagdadaya
for
lang
AP
ako
Brin
nga.
for them to
Ito mga pandaya ko
low-key win
ngayon.
the drafting against RQ.
Kasi minsan kailangan ko ng sodium eh.
Yeah,
So,
and they may end up banning for RQ Hoshi the CC could definitely be a problem. You don't want AP
Idol,
Brin to be
baba
able
mo
to
na
pick that
kam.
up.
Okay na
That
yan.
is a staple pick over there for RRQ
Pag nasa
Hoshi,
gilid kasi
to be able to do
naharangan
some
ko sila.
damage. You know what else is on the
Gusto niyo ba
table,
makita
though?
siya, no?
The Benedetta that we've seen dominate over there into the hands of Banana. It got a backdoor play in the group stage to be able to close out one of these games. The mobility is just very hard to match up with Banana. So either
Boss,
a
padampot,
CC or a
please.
Benedetta
Hello sa'yo.
could definitely be a strong pickup for the side of RQ Hoshi if AP Brin lets this slide.
May nagre-request sa Nabi daw.
Another good pickup would be something like the oh, actually, it's banned out. They took out the Navarre. I was going to say that's definitely a strong option. But something else that we've seen from
Sabi
last
ni
game,
Razel, ngayon din
the
po ba Grand
fairness is still
Finals?
on
Ay,
the
hindi.
table.
Hindi.
Yeah,
Bukas
fairness,
pa.
that could be valid first pick for AP Brand. They're that kind
Pwede
of
po
team
kayo
would
sa-
not hesitate
pwede po
picking
kayo
up
sa
the
YouTube.
Fairness just because of how few is great with the hero. Another hero that they take away from Brusco as well as Irad is the Guinevere. This will be this
Basta
will
magkakape ako.
definitely be a trend for AP Brand as they want to
Mia naman
take the
sana.
series 2-0. Just
Wait lang.
take away
Idol,
all of those
batiin mo
heroes
ate
and
ko.
will
Oy,
make it,
shoutout sa ate mo,
will
tol.
make it comfortable for both Irad as well as Brusco. Faramis is open. Like I said, this could be the first pick. Indeed, it will be. RQ Hoshi. Do they go for Lilia already this time? CC is open. But I think they go Lilia.
Wala akong
Actually,
mainit eh. Wait lang,
there's
magsasalang lang mainit na
in me
tubig.
that says that maybe the Minotaur is going to be first face picked here by RQ Hoshi.
100% CC first pick for RQ Hoshi.
Yeah.
And then I do agree with you for those additional picks as they go back in. Oh, whoa, the Minotaur. Okay, but
Still got it.
Diggy's still on the table. So do they go in for more of a like frontline jungler for the side of AP Brin and pull out the Diggy to kind of counteract that CC? Or are they not even going to go the Diggy at all, considering there is a Fredrin on the table, which could definitely overwhelm the time journey?
Yeah, AP Brand might not really consider that. Maybe they'll be happy about the Faramis.
Ano,
Of course, it will
mag-ASMR ka na
be,
rin, boss, habang
it will
nag-stream.
be considered, but
Okay.
maybe in the latter portions of the game.
Salang lang
for
ako
the
ng
Brand, they
mainit,
should
pre.
be,
Tapos nakita
maybe,
ko,
a burst type or maybe a Brody.
wala
in
akong
fact, for
wala
AP
akong
Brand. A very
kape.
quick
So,
takeover
ang
for the
gagawin
Brody
ko,
this time
may energen
so that
dyan.
they
So,
can do
mag-energen ako.
Oh, decent versus the Fredrin.
So, carbs na naman. Ano na naman,
Then I'm thinking
protein na naman, pre.
Brand, because that's usually what they pick up against this Fredrin, and there it is, the Brody.
Tara,
That's why you're
secure na
$1
silang Brody.
caster right there. Look at
Matic
that $1
yan.
million prediction over there. Brody does get slotted up. I think it's a great answer, especially against a heavy frontline composition.
Grabe,
I mean,
napakayaman talaga
teams
ni
that
Wolf.
like to
Buti naman
dive
may
in, go
kompletong-
back to the
may
backline
kompletong
on
music
Smartsman.
set.
Brody's one of the best pickups for that, right? He has the
Napakayaman
counter
talaga
strike
ni Wolf.
to be able to get that stun, get
Sobrang
back,
yaman
has
mo,
the
Wolf.
flicker to top that off as well to expand the distance and also close
Yeah.
the distance if he wants to go in for the kill with the torn apart memories. Now, Flat TZ, not wasting any time for the team. You know, they are going to go ahead and
Yeah.
decide who their jungler is going to be.
Pauloy sila.
And that is going to be
Alam nyo ba,
Baxia.
itong
Now, we've been seeing
Baxia,
Baxia pick
counter
up
yan sa
late,
mga
so definitely
assassin
been executing
heroes.
pretty well, rotating around, able to get to the positions necessary to deal the damage. We saw RQ Hoshi in the first game pick up a die rock to respond to it, but now, hey,
Kaya kung papansinin
they
nyo,
can't really pick
first
up the die. I mean, I guess they could, but
First
it would
pick
make it a
nila,
little bit
first
troublesome,
three,
especially
sa
with
first
Brody on
three
the table,
picks,
who
kinukuha
really
na
wants
kagad
those
yung
frontline
Baxia.
competitions to be
Kasi
slotted
kahit
up.
anong
So
hero na
that
kunin
would be
ni,
a little bit of an easier time
ni Irad
for the
na
Baxia
assassin,
rotating around.
yari dyan.
Nathan, going to be the pickup for RQ Hoshi.
Idol,
I
sino
would have said
pinakamagaling na
God, but
caster
then
para
again,
sa'yo?
this totally makes a lot of sense.
Lahat ng
It's a
caster
AoE.
magagaling in their own
There's a lot of
way.
AoE
May
that you
iba't
can get out
ibang
of the Nathan.
character
Although
ang
it
bawat
will take
caster.
a lot of
May
time,
iba't iba silang techniques.
It's definitely
So,
okay
hindi mo
and,
talaga
advisable
madadetermine
to
kung
go
sino
for
yung
a-
pinakamagaling
for a
na
late
caster.
game hero
Depende
now
yun
for
sa
RQ
nakikinig.
Because if you look at their
Depende
two
yun
heroes,
sa
it allows for
preference
those
mo.
late game
So,
types of heroes like
ayun.
Nathan. that
Mahirap
really likes to
mahirap
farm a
yan
lot.
mahirap.
You have the Minotaur
Mahirap
as
siya
well, the Fredrin
i-define
to
sa isang
protect
salita.
That Nathan.
Ang isang
They
caster.
might
Parang
even couple this
artista,
up with
'di ba?
another,
Kunyari,
sustained
nagagaling
kind
nga
of
kay
hero,
Marian
maybe
Rivera.
someone
Nagagaling nga
like
kay
Familia that
Catherine
can actually
Bernardo. So, ang
sustain
hirap niyang
herself so that he can output the damage.
i-identify.
And
Ganun.
now, actually, I think
Pag
AP
sabi ni
might
Azzy
look to
Acosta,
brand
pag
that
nanalo
hero,
pa
that Lilia
RRQ dyan,
and
maglalive ako
maybe-
na kahubad.
and
Oy, wag ka dito,
obviously
Azzy
Banana,
Acosta.
heroes that allow for the Nathan to be able to farm.
Maghuhubad ang
That's
putya.
honestly exactly what I was going to say, right? The Nana or the Lilia is definitely something RQ
Parang
Hoshi
singer. Oo nga.
could profit off
Diba?
of, and a
Marami
great
magagaling
read
na
from
singers,
AP
eh.
Brin to be able to counteract that. Now, that will put RQ Hoshi in a little bit of a bind.
Kanino ka
on who
bilib?
they go in
Kanino
for
bilib na?
their
Caster?
mage. Now, Valentina,
Ano, tama hula ko mag-Nathan.
looks to
Oh,
still be
maganda
on the
Nathan
table.
actually,
They could pick
Mirachi.
that up. I mean,
Nice,
it'd be great
predict.
against the Faramis to
Nice prediction.
provide the nether
Right.
realm for the side of RQ Hoshi. I mean, they have a little bit of sustainability from Bruce on the Minotaur, but it would be a
Sinong
really
bias
good
muna
pickup,
boss sa caster?
especially to give them even more
Siyempre
shields
ako.
on these 5v5 engagements.
Yeah.
up against a hero like Brody,
pero
right?
lahat
He pops
magaling,
that torn
pre.
apart memories, instantly go in for that nether realm to keep the team alive. No worries about it. You've been talking about the
Habang
Nathan
buko bago
stepping up
mag-start
into the
yung
scene
season,
as well today,
papag-update mo na ako.
and now we get to see a showcasing of exactly how well it will perform up
Yeah.
against AP Brent. But so far, we got a pretty solid
Pwede uli
draft
sila
on our hands.
mag-Lilia.
Yeah, it's
Ay, wala
really a
palang
backup
Lilia,
for
shit.
AP Bren, as expected. But you're right. I think the Valentina could be a valid pick of it for
Walang na, no?
Arkiyoshi. However,
Parang
there's
proportion
that
ng...
option of
Ano
the
kaya?
Aurora, which really couples up well with the Minotaur. Maybe the
Aurora,
next best choice
pwede.
is the Vexana. These two heroes that can
Pambasag sana
that
netong
actually
ano. Kailangan nilang
replace
pambasag,
Barca
Claude.
and Eve,
Pwede
that
sila mag-Claude
really
dito.
puts themselves just
Pambasag ng
way
Netherrealm.
back
Yung
into
ulti
the
ng
fights and just
Paramis.
output the damage. That makes a lot of sense versus the Faramis, so that you can trickle down the extra
Or Iksha.
HP from the ultimate.
Claude or
That could
Iksha.
be a
Pambasag,
valid option
pre.
here for Arky Hoshi. Might reserve their
Sabi ni
escalate
John
for
Paul
last.
Meneses,
Or maybe
idol
they
kailan
pick it
start
up.
ng
There it is, the
MPLPA?
Vexana.
Sa
I
15
think
po, 15.
maybe Arky Hoshi will close it up with a Lapu Lapu.
Hello, Sai. Shoutout sa'yo.
A Lapu Lapu. You know what I'd be interested to see? The Benedetta slide through.
Oh,
that
Cairo
kinda
or
dominated
Cartesi?
so well on,
That's
just
also
Baka
true.
Kyrie.
especially with Banana. And we
Ayun,
talked
Vexana
about it
sila.
walking in the early phase of the draft, and I mean, he's performed really
Ay, hindi na
well
pala
on it.
sila
It could be a
makapag-Iksha,
possible pickup,
gagi.
especially since CC
May ano na pala
was
sila,
not,
may mid,
able to be
may
slotted. It
gold
was,
na pala sila,
currently
sorry.
banned
Bobo.
out. And that's one of the few XP laners that we've been kind of seeing him run so far. We did see the Ruby band out as well, which could have been a great answer,
Yeah.
either flex to the XP lane or the roam position. So I would say, yeah, Benedetta could be a very good pickup for the side of
Yeah.
RQ Hoshi, but
Yeah.
in terms of AP Bryn, they're
Masarap ng
looking
buhok ko,
pretty
ano?
solid with their draft.
Lasang
They have
chichirya.
sustainability. They have great
Nga
front
eh.
line from the box.
Nawilito,
and
shoutout
already some
sa'yo.
good
Huwag ka
damage from,
magtampo. Hayop
Brody, and
ka.
here goes the
Love you.
Grok that we've seen already previously in the
Lapo,
quarterfinals.
nako po.
I
Eto na,
wouldn't say
top
that
PH
maybe
Lapo,
they
pre.
snatched the Lapu Lapu, and indeed they did that, because that means that Arkeoshi will not have the perfect hero to counter the Faramis as well as Brody. So yeah, I think they're left with one option, which is the Benedetta now for
Idol,
Arkeoshi.
pabati naman si
Apart
Pinky,
from that,
birthday niya
the
bukas.
choice will be Yuzhong,
Shoutout
which
sa'yo,
is,
Pinky.
not
Happy,
the
happy
most
birthday.
ideal
I hope
scenario.
na
But if
okay
they
ka
want,
palagi.
they can,
Mag-iingat ka, syempre. At,
they can still go for
mag-sanitize
I think,
palagi
I
ng
think they're
gamit
left
ng
with
alcohol.
Benedetta
Yun na yun.
because you have AoE damage, match up against the Lapu Lapu. Well, maybe
Oy,
the
Nawilito, I
biggest
love you. Mua, mua.
hero that they can get is probably Yuzhong. Although that is like a very
Old portrait
underwhelming
gamit nila
hero
ko
to
sa
go up
laps.
against
Oh,
Benedetta.
nice ano ah.
Well,
Nice
there's
observation.
The Benedetta, a specialty for RQ Hoshi. Great
Bene.
closeout.
Gusto ko
I
yung
think
Bene.
this is a
Ganda ng Bene.
relatively even draft. But I do like that, like the Nathan pick coming out
Lagi ko
from
na
RQ Hoshi.
yung mukha ko
because
sa gilid
it
ah.
makes a lot of sense with the heroes that are around it. Yeah? You have the Vexana to output the damage.
Di-
with the
di na ba
Minotaur
meta
for
si
the
Khalid?
initiation. You have
Depende,
friendly
pwede
frontline
mong
for the
gamitin.
team, and with this kind of lineup, they have a way to front to
Boss,
back.
may
At the same
surot ba
time,
dyan?
there's
Parang may
always that
surot.
option to go for the split with Banana. So it's a really good mix for both teams.
Yeah, and with Skylar running the Nathan, it's definitely going to be a little bit different of a game than
Ganda
what
ng
we've
lineup
seen
parehas.
on
Maganda
the
ta.
Laylas. We are now stepping into the virtual arena. AP Bryn out from the Philippines, looking stronger than ever. Currently at match point up against RRQ Hoshi out from Indonesia. Who will be able to prevail in that amazing draft? Like we said, pretty even on the scoreboard, but time will tell on who will be our victor for game number 2.
It's going to be a really good matchup. And I do hope that we get to a game number 3. Just
Sa naiya may
because
surot.
of
Anong
how
surot?
good
Ano yung
the
surot?
two
Di ko magets.
coaches are drafting. I mean, just for game number 2, that's what I
Di ka
can
magets,
say.
pre.
It makes for an interesting.
Hello, Sai.
kind of
Tagal ko
one
ng
season.
support.
But at
Di
the
mo
same
na
time,
siya shoutout.
obviously,
Shoutout
AP
sa'yo,
Brent would
Sai.
want to close this
Asi
out
ako,
right
dapat
now.
di daw maalo lang
The
si
way
Wolf.
that they
Di ko
draft
alam.
this is to win the lanes, right? So you have the Lapu Lapu,
Umalulong
which
na
is a
yan,
hero
pero
that
hindi lang
rarely
ngayon.
loses lane. Really good in that regard. Going up against the Benedetta.
Idol sa art
I think
gallery
that if
pa
you
rin
go
ba? Shooting
damage
gallery,
on
hindi art
Banana,
gallery, pre.
you're gonna have a better time against the Lapu Lapu because of the trading potential that you have. Just have to be careful not to get hit with by skill 1 and skill 2 on
Aray
this
ko.
Flapteasy Lapu Lapu.
Yeah, and Brusco taking some heavy hits nice and early. Going to force him to recall back to the base. RQ Hoshi
Lakasan pa ba natin
starting to try
konti?
and be a little bit more aggressive. May look a little bit more
Surod
promising to
is
game number one.
suklay.
On the left side,
Suklay.
Banana very comfortable over here on this Benedetta, forcing Kyle Teasy to the bot side to stop him from
Haba na
taking
ng
down
buko
Flat
kasi.
Teasy on the 1v1 engagement.
Yeah. Gotta be Banana, just, there's always that thing where you say that Banana is a one trick kind of player, but man, every time you watch his Benedetta and the way that he plays it, you're always amazed. You can see even Flaptizi on the Yuzhong, the Lapu-Lapu, I mean, is struggling against Banana's Benedetta.
Yeah, speaking of
Patay ata.
struggling, big terrifying the way. Brusco will be able to find one. Takes on Ogwin. A little different of a start than we've seen
Uy.
in game number 1. This time,
Kunyari.
we're able to see RQ Hoshi take the first kill as we do
Kunyari.
pan over for a quick second. They are leading. That was first.
Kalma lang daw. Bebe, kalma.
500 gold.
Yeah. Good movements, taking advantage of the Fredrin Minotaur wall that they can have, moving wall that they have with the Vexana from behind. It's like a war strategy from RQ Hoshi where there's
Surot
slowly
bed bag.
sieging
Ay,
AP
wala.
Bren
Walang
with
surot
these
dito,
big
pre.
boys in front line, and AP Bren couldn't do anything about it. Even in this turtle take, you can see that it's difficult for them, and Octa is just outputting so much damage from behind. He's free to do it.
Yeah, a lot of damage. Irad will be able to claim that turtle. RQ Hoshi, this is what we're talking about. This is the RQ Hoshi we've seen in Group
Sakit.
Stage A
Aray ko,
and
bes.
in the quarterfinals. Now, leading the way in the early
Alam niyo ba,
game, AP
mahusay na
Brand
talaga
on the
si Irad
backside of things this
mag-Fred
time
rin.
around. Now,
Pero
I
nakausap ko
would
si
say
Kyle
Banana
TC,
definitely
sabi niya,
opening up a lot of opportunity.
ano,
Running on the Benedetta, a
isa sa mga
comfort pick,
prayo
escape
talaga
pick
niya is Fred
inside of
rin.
his hands. It
Parang
definitely makes
super
the
ano niya,
difference in
super
the early phase of the game.
super
And it's
dali
something
kasing
that
gamitin.
RQ Hoshi is leaning on. Now, for AP Brand,
May damage,
I mean, it's still
naalala
looking
ni
pretty
Bruce PC
promising.
niya nung
We like the
nag-black
water
screen
pickup,
live.
right? It's really good up against the up close and
Ayop ka,
personal
Paradox.
heroes.
Oo nga,
Even
no,
the
nag-black
Benedetta,
screen pala
if she
ako.
decides to rush in, it could be a possible
Buti nga okay
problem.
na yung PC
But so
ko eh.
far, RQ Hoshi, with the slight lead, looks like they've been able to find their tempo since game 1.
Oh yeah, and even Skylar is leading when it comes to the EXP going up against Super Marco. If I'm seeing this correctly, but there was a time where Skylar was level 5 and Super Marco was level 4. Super Marco had to go back to base, and
Malapit
this
na
is
birthday ko,
looking
Pops, kahit
really
video
well
games.
for
Oo naman,
RQ
Sai.
Hoshi. All of the
Send ko
lanes
sa'yo
are pulling
mamaya.
in their favor,
Kailan ba birthday
and
mo?
all of the core heroes from RQ Hoshi are getting the farm over their designated
Sorry.
matchup. So that's definitely a good sign. 3 minutes 38 seconds to get the Feather of Heaven. Great timing.
Magkano na
for
premyo,
Skylar.
idol? Yung price pool dito, 55
Yeah,
million
Super Marco
pesos.
gonna Go ahead and pick up that Blade of Heptases for some great initial burst damage. Brusco trying to find an opportunity for the side of RQ Hoshi. Looks like they're going to go in for a possible pick-off. Rushing straight in a few, but he may be able to make his way into that tier 2 turret. Irad thirsty for the kill, but not able to close the distance for the setup.
Irad with just the box. I mean, look at him having the freedom to do this because
Uy.
of Brusco's protection.
Yeah, big wild charge. Guardian's barrier.
Oh, wow.
Dropping down from Ogwin, trapping Brusco and Octa from escaping. It's a good thing AP Bryn did not decide to engage on that because that was a good setup to kind of zone them away
Totoo
from
ba yan?
escape.
55 million pesos? Oh, 55 million pesos po.
Great plays coming
$1
from
million
RQ Hoshi.
ang ano
You
dito.
can see that without the
Nagdaganon.
wild
Ba't nag-
charge, AP Bren might
Sa
not
kanila yun, ha?
be
Baka sabihin niya sa
thinking
akin.
about taking the turtle actually. Maybe they
Ayaw
go
nga.
for pickoffs. But it
Tumutulog
comes to
na ba?
their right.
Yeah, sitting at about 75% HP.
Hindi pa yan, hindi pa yan. Mahina pa eh.
With the Fredrin, being a little bit of a bully, not afraid to take the fight up close and personal. Rushes into Ogwin for the setup. Teasy zoned out from Brusco. RQ Hoshi, total control of the jungle and turtle pit so far, even extending into the
ito na.
purple buff. But Irad may be a little too close if they decide to engage. Big Manoan Fury, triple knockup onto AP Bread. Brusco with the setup. Forcing out the electrifying blow and the Nether Realm coming alive from Few as both teams still fighting it out over this turtle. Neither side able to find the advantage they were looking for.
When Kyle is low and Irad is half HP but does have the sustain from
Ano yun,
as a
overall
Fredrin.
winning ng team, hindi yung champion lang.
They're trying to
55 million pesos,
bust
ibig sabihin
from
ng
this
price
turtle.
pool
Who
yun.
takes it,
Paghahati-hatian po yun.
Ooh, it looks like Octa will get the steal for RQ Hoshi. Brusco will fall though. Super Marco finding his first kill of the game. That will go into the hands of AP Brent, but they lose the neutral objective. A 1,000 gold lead for RQ Hoshi.
Oh, ayun na.
Irad.
Gonna rush in. Big wild charge for the knockup. Irad will be able to get out of there though. Very low on the HP. Electrifying blow going down from Banana through the Guardian's barrier provided over there from Ogwin, who has had some really good
Ayos ba yung
setups,
ano,
but
mga
I think
stickers
his
natin,
plays
Sai?
have been pretty valid so far in the early phase.
Yung nilalaroan ni Yawi, idol, ano
A
yun?
little bit scared of Irad almost going down.
anong
but
nilalaroan?
fortunately,
Aura,
there's the
Aura,
pop-up
Aura
with
Fish.
his Vexan, the
Aura,
position is
Aura
just too
Indo.
good for his fix
Wala na
that.
palang aura PH.
Octa is
Aura
not
lang yan,
providing so
aura.
much defense for his team while also outputting the damage, right? So you cannot really just dive
Nagpe-prepare sila
as AP
MPL
Bren.
Indo
And
Season
if you're
13.
thinking about the composition of AP Bren, they're mainly like, I would say melee based.
May ano kasi ako dito, may fan kasi ako dito.
Without the ultimate,
So kaya
Brody's range is not
gumagalaw
that
yung
good.
buhok ko, sorry.
And that's why they need to go up close and personal.
Nakakuha na naman.
Gets melted
Late.
down few. Just a fraction of a second too late with the Faramis ultimate.
Yeah, nice and early pickoff from the side play of the Bush in the mid lane. And now maybe able to seize the opportunity to take
sakit
this
ng
tier 2
Nathan,
Skylar.
gagi.
Not wasting any time controlling this map for RRQ Hoshi. And so far, they're getting everything that they have came for. AP Bryn is now the team that is reacting to RQ Hoshi.
It's really
Basag
good
din yung
from,
top.
Arkeoshi. This is the tempo that we're looking for. And like we said, like
Ang
these
sakit
four
nung
people
ano,
will
gagi
not
nung
leave each
Nathan,
other.
pre.
They will let Banana do the split for them. And both Octa as well as Skylars, they're going to be able to output the damage that they needed because of the two bad dudes in the front line. That's Irad and Brusco. And I don't know if you know this already, but
Ano lang pala,
Brusco
no?
in Tagalog can also mean something like a like a big dude in the front line, like a brawn kind of dude. Like when you say when you're Brusco, you're like a jacked kind of dude in the front lines.
Yeah, definitely showcasing it and living up to that name. There's a lot of things going on in
Uy.
the mid lane from both sides
Banana,
of the
pak.
table. Bodies may
Buhay,
drop
buhay,
here in a
buhay,
matter
buhay.
of seconds.
Hmm.
You are seeing the Terrify go down. Octa able to find Flapteezy, unable to find his way back to his side of the jungle. One member down for the side of AP Bryn. 3 seconds until the Lord spawns in.
Oh man, they're nullifying the
Ayan,
Lapu-Lapu
ang
by
sakit,
outputting so
gagi.
much damage. Look at Skylar. Good
Ang
hit on the
sakit.
second skill, and now Kaltizi goes into the fray.
Walang ulti si
he's gonna
ano,
rush
si
in, hit
Few,
the
pre.
Terrified, though. Irad trying to get away. The wall will drop again.
Ilalayo
from
lang
Octa.
nila.
We talked about his
Oaks lang
placement
si
of these
Oak.
Guardian barriers. Definitely not disappointing
Mamaya ako
today.
tutuloy yung
Brusco,
sinasabi ko.
very low tone apart.
Patay,
Memories.
patay.
Super Marco will find him, and Noam Fury goes down right before
-1
he
sila.
falls.
Pwede sila mag-all out. Yun na, Irad.
Irad will find the Lord. That is a big play for the side of RQ Hoshi to continue their tempo. Super Marco takes down Banana to respond. Two members falling for the
Game
side
2
of
ba to,
RQ
boss?
Hoshi,
Sabi ni
but
Y.
able
Oo,
to
oo.
claim this Lord.
Game 2. Talo ata Brand dito. Oy, kalma lang dyan, Esguera. Wala pa pang nangyayari.
Lord after that. But AP Brent, they're juggling. Their isolation moves are looking very neat. And that's the thing for RQ Hoshi. The only reason for them to lose some of their members is that if somebody gets isolated.
Kasi
This is
ma-ice ba yan?
what happened with Brewster as well as Banana.
Yung mga inaantog na, hoy, magsitulog na kayo kasi anong oras na, 1:30 na.
Like losing your roamer for the Lord is definitely a positive trade for you. And RQ Hoshi can now take over the map once again.
Yeah, with that Lord marching down on the bot side, they may go
Flip
in.
will, I
for some
love
additional
you.
turrets. I mean, look at the top lane. Skylar, again, will take another tier 2 turret in their favor. Now leading 4 turrets to none against 80 Bryn, and may claim some more in the mid lane as they are going to siege for that tier 1. It will fall into their hands. 3 major objectives, 2 turrets and a Lord over to their side so far. Even on the kills, though, but down in the economy by 4,000 gold behind AP Bryn.
Yeah. Looking really good for the Nathan as well for now. I mean, we haven't been talking about Skylar, but he is actually left in the chin for quite a long time now. 7.5k, 1,000 gold ahead of the Brody.
Ano oras po ba sa Russia ngayon? Hindi ko alam ni Boss eh. Nasa Pilipinas ako.
With the Feather of Heaven,
Hindi ko sure.
that's gonna hurt.
Pero
If you
pwede
see
natin i-check
someone
kung
just
gusto mo.
stay in front
Wait
of
lang.
Nathan for 1 or 2 seconds, no matter who that is, that guy's gonna die. And the only saving grace here for AP Brent is that they have the Faramis ultimate. Even Kyle, look at him take so much damage.
Ooh, big Minoan Fury as well for the knockup. The response back, though. Brusco very low. Entropy going out. Trying to get a possible kill. Skylar looking for the opportunity. Electo final blow. Few will take down Banana before he's able to escape. That will be 2 members falling for the side. No, 1 member falling for the side of RRQ Hoshi. They still have the ground control, and they still want to take the fight. Irad will find Super Marco, finds the marksman for AP Bryn, and going in for this
Tapang
tier 2
Irad
turret.
pro, yo.
You're looking at Flapteezy, not trying to give it up without a fight. It will fall, though. Octa able to claim it for RRQ Hoshi.
Oh, did you see that juggle coming up from AP Brand. FlapTZ activated the bravest fighter, hit onto two of their members, and looked like
Nalula ako sa
it's as
clash.
if he will commit to the fight.
Grabe
But
yung clash, no?
instead, he went back.
Alam mo yung mga
And that
calculated
actually
risk?
attracted Banana to go in. And
Sa kanila lang nauso yun.
isolated
Tignan mo,
again.
4-4 pala yung
He was
score
taken
pare,
out.
oh.
However,
Kala mo,
Arkeology with the
mga
fact
nasa
that they have
30-minute
and
game na eh.
the fact that they're grouping up, at least for the rest of their other members, they still were able to take out Super Marco, which is big, and they took an objective to go with it. So this is Arkeo Hoshibu not only controlling the tempo, but now having
Rainier Santos, lag
great
naman daw.
plans
Lag ba?
whenever they're
Hindi naman
trying
ako
to
lag
go
ah.
for plays. It's not anymore a mindless play that they're
Baka
doing or a
internet mo yun,
very
pre.
reactionary kind of play that they're doing.
Check
This
mo
is
mag
actually
on
a
off ng
planned assault
mag-airplane
coming out from
mode
Arkeo
on
Hoshi.
And now, passing that 11-minute mark, you're looking at RQ Hoshi having full control of this game so far. Hasn't lost a single turret in this game. And now, looking to take the next objective on the board. The contesto from AP Bryn. A little bit of a knockup. FlapTZ very low. Entropy going down. Skylar able to get it, but a wild charge from Ogwood into the backside. We'll get the knockup, but no bodies will fall. Minoan Fury from
Ano nangyari?
Brusco. Triple set onto
lugi
AP
sila, pre.
Bryn. Still fighting it out. Octa will find another. Down goes Kyle TZ.
Lugi
Super
ata
Marco
sila.
though in the fight. Skylar taking down few. Super Marco and Ogwin by themselves.
Kukunin ko
Few
yung
will get
ano
back
ko,
in
energy
time.
ko eh.
The most out of the passive from
Mamaya na nga.
this Faramis. Now you're looking at RQ Hoshi trying to seize the opportunity to crack open the base from
Mamaya
AP
na
Bryn.
nga, kukunin ko yung energen ko eh.
Waiting for more. Skyler just destroys them. Irad gets the last hit, but
Grabe yung Nathan, promise. Ang sakit. O yun oh.
Yeah, very low.
GG's ata, pre.
Can't get around
Ooh!
that wall. Gets a kill though. Irad will find Super Marco. 4 members falling. Looks like they're going in for the finish. RQ Hoshi looking
Wow,
to turn this
12
game
minutes.
around. Can they do it? The terrified, the knockup. Kyle TZ sustaining himself through all this damage, trying to buy some time. Few will find Skylar. Gets a double. Takes out Banana. Minions are in play, but he will fall a full wipeout on AP Brent. RQ Hoshi trying to close it out. Ogwin just needs a few minutes to go through. Not able
Wow.
to close the distance. And RQ Hoshi flipping the script and turning this around evens out the series against AP Brent.
Grabe
just
yun,
like you said,
panggulat.
before game 1 started, the priority for RQ Hoshi is to win their lane matchups, particularly in the side lanes. We saw that in this particular game with that Nathan going up against the Brody, you understand why it won. It's because of the range once again. And then eventually there was a gap between the gold laners where Skylar had a much better shot in the early stages of the game by getting much more farm.
Grabe yung Nathan, pre.
Now we can see
Pucha.
that in the bottom lane, that's also true with FlapTZ versus Banana. Banana just froze the lane down the bottom just to become in front of FlapTZ and then take advantage of the damage buildup onto Benedetta. Had it not been for AP Brent's massive juggles, this game would have easily been in RQ Hoshi's favor. But at the same time, RQ Hoshi really woke up. And now Brusco actually is in a much more comfortable spot. You can see him go for those initiations wherein he will pop the first two ticks of the ultimate in place and then go for the flicker for nice timing on the AP Brand. He times the flicker
Grabe
the right
yun.
moment so that
Sabi ni
he'll be
Jonas
able to
Guerra,
touch,
sabi ko sa'yo,
AP
boss, di ba?
Brand
Oo nga,
at the edges
ganda,
of the
ganda,
circle
ganda.
of the Minoan Fury. And
Lala nun.
you only need to have like the follow-up coming up from the Vexana to
Lala ng
eventually
nerf sa
take over
Radiant
the game.
Armor,
That's,
oo.
really what Brusco
Hindi na nga
has been
super
able to
effective
bring
yung
to the
Radiant
table
Armor.
when he's given this kind of comfortable heroes. Surely the Kufa
Shout out, legit
is
mate.
a hero
Hello
that
sa'yo.
was mastered already by Brusco, but it doesn't work in the meta. Now, we can see like Tigreal, heroes like Grok as well
Kasi
as
sinasabi
this,
ko sa inyo,
Minotaur. This will be
ito
the
tinitira ko
priority
kapag
for
ka...
RQ Hoshi, so I will not be surprised if there's
Pero
an
naka 2.5 na ako eh.
emphasis
Naka
on
2.5
the
calories
half
na.
of the
Naka
strength
2.5
from
na
AP Brand.
ano na ako
Next
ngayon eh.
Yeah,
Calories.
The signature banana split, right?
And the
Banana
170.
really
That's
good,
also true.
rotating around the
That's
map
also
on the
true.
Benedetta, and they let it walk. We talked about it earlier in the draft. We said, hey, majority of the time we're seeing the side of RQ Hoshi win. Banana has this Benedetta. I'm convinced that the B in Benedetta stands for banana, the way he's performing so far today. But yeah, he's
Daming
creating
alam,
those
dami mo
opportunities
namang
every
alam,
single
pre.
time to be able to get the neutral objectives and also free up Skylar to have a good time in his gold lane. And it allows RQ Hoshi to kind of thrive in the early phase. And once they start, they don't stop, right? We've seen them pretty much continue to check off those blocks on their list for these objectives, which led to that 13-minute finish, a very early game. And now we're sitting at an even series, and there goes our MVP.
Yeah, 40% damage taken. He really he really put his role into
Medyo
function, right?
kinakabahan
So
pa ako sa
he said
ano.
that this competition,
Kinakabahan
they were
pa
in
ako
for the
sa
break
AP
because
brand
the
ngayon
idea
ah.
here is that you have backliners to support you, which in this case it is Vexana as well as the Nathan. But I want to go
Tulog na
back
ako,
to the
iyak
first
na lang
few minutes
bukas
of the game
paglaglag,
where
Bren.
you can
Pahinga
really
ka na,
see
Vanilla Ice.
what the
Lahat ng
strength
mga
of the
gusto
Minnesota
magpahinga na,
Twins
magpahinga na
can
kayo,
bring to
pre.
the table,
Nung oras
or
na
what
rin
their
eh.
strength really
Diba?
is, which is really just run down slow siege
May headband
opponents
ata
and
dyan,
allow
ngawit na ako
Vexana
sa
to just
buhok mo.
really
Ako
get
nga,
their
sige,
back.
wait lang, kukuha ko ng
If we're
headband.
looking at AP Brand, the only backline access that they have is Flap TZ. Surely you can argue that with Kyle, Ogwen, and View, but they're generally heroes that want to go to damage the frontliners, so it's more of a front-to-back composition for AP Brand. Despite the dive and the gap closers that they have, this is generally a lineup where you want to go front to back, and RQ Hoshi took advantage of that. They have a much better front to back composition compared to AP Bren, and you can see them abuse that factor, especially in the early stages of the game where they just literally stopped Ogwen as well as View from rotating to their own teammates, which now made it so that the side lanes, the natural advantage that you have for the side laners of RQ to flourish. That's exactly what happened in the early stages. And the good thing about RQ Hoshi
Ito na,
in this
para
game
di
is
na
that
kayo
they didn't let
mainis,
go
pre.
of the pressure. Right? So every time that they try to team fight around the neutral
Yan.
objectives,
Okay
they
na ba
take
yan?
that, they don't let go of that even when they lose some of their members, that's alright. Then they allow the banana to go for the macro.
Hirap nun, Nathan, pre.
Overall, RQ Hoshi, well thought draft.
Ano po sikreto ng mga gwapo? Ay, hindi ko alam, Ashi, kasi hindi naman ako gwapo eh.
On top of that, made for a game winner to even
Saklap
out
niyang
this
kapag parehas
series
Indo Finals.
up
Kapit
against
AP Bren.
And now,
Wala, lakas
with them
ng ano
being
eh,
1-1,
RQ eh.
me and you kind of expected, right? Game 2 to be a little bit closer.
Anong tawag
That's the
pag nag-split
RQ
pa si
Hoshi that
Banana?
we've
Eh, di
been
Banana
seeing so
split.
far in
Ikaw
Game
namang
Futures
Garuda eh.
2024 that everybody has been talking about. I'm sure out in Indonesia, the
Witty
crowd
mo
is
dun,
going wild. The Philippines, same thing as well. AP Bren, their final stand
Hinaan muna
inside
natin
Game
sila,
Futures
ha?
2024,
Okay.
the world
Okay,
champions
pupunta muna
from
sa gitna.
M5.
Ayan.
Both of them fighting it out. The Philippines
Yan.
against Indonesia. This is one of the most
Ganda ng
best
ano,
matches I
ganda
like
ng
to
laro,
kind of
pre.
catch and cast. You learn so much from
For
seeing
sure.
both of these teams fight together against each other. But there can only
Ganda
be
ng
one
laro,
person
no?
claiming victory, and they
Kaya
are
pa yan,
currently
kapit lang.
both
Kapit lang
sitting
tayo,
in
guys.
which
Kapit
means the
lang.
next team to win will knock out the other side.
And I'm sure that
Uy,
all
thank
the
you so much
Filipino
pala,
fans
Nika
out
Claire,
there
sa Finger
have,
Heart. Maraming salamat po.
shaken because if
Kaya
you
pa yan,
think
kapit lang
about
sa
it, even
Beninits.
when
Okay pa.
Bren is looking real good in the group stages and the first part of the playoffs yesterday,
Ano score?
they are
1-1.
still literally one loss away from
Wolf-
losing
Wolf
all of
curse
the
mo na, argue,
Filipino
Wolf.
teams' claim to the
Kami na
throne,
Engineer
right?
RJ.
So they're the last team standing for the Philippines. And they're
Oh, yung mga
literally
ano, mga
one
gusto mo na
loss
magluto
away
ng Pinsit
from,
Canton, pang ilan eco, boss? Wala namang eco dito,
having
pre.
the chance to defend their world championship, right? So that's gonna be nerve-wracking for sure. And this really makes up for a very interesting format where it's a best of 3 in a single elimination.
Hanabi na ni
Teams
Super
are,
Marco, sabi ni Brooke. Ba't ba hinahanap yung Hanabi? Hindi lalabas
so
siyempre.
much. And it's just it's just very scary to think about that way. Like after winning so much, AP Ben literally just one loss away from getting out of the
Ay,
tournament.
magsikain muna kayo.
Yeah, just one loss
Yung mga
away. And,
pupud
you
trip,
know,
pwede mo
first
lang
off,
pupud
that's
trip
the
habang
first
wala pa.
loss that AP Bren has taken
That's
in
right.
Game of Futures 2024. They've been undefeated so far.
Silver
And that just
Rome na
shows
lang.
how strong
Anong
the
laro
region
to, boss?
is.
Ed,
Indonesia
Charles
is
Shop,
as well.
PS,
To be able to
EDM,
take one from them and
MLBB.
put them in a position where
Mobile
they have
Legends,
to win
pre.
this one, or they're
Ito mo
done.
yan.
Second thing I want to mention is, can we give some credit to Wolf on the freaking analyst points on the draft? The man was hitting everyone left and right. Man, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, this man is from the future. It's a pleasure casting with you. I mentioned watching international
you.
teams such as Indonesia and the Philippines, but also being able to, cast alongside you, somebody who's been here since the beginning of the MLBB scene. I'm definitely got my notebook.
Magaling
out,
si
taking
Steph
notes
Wheezy,
every step
actually,
of the way as
Magaling
we're
si-
going through these drafts.
Magaling si Steph
It's
Wheezy.
not been disappointing so far. I love seeing a series that goes to a best of 3 all the way to a game 3, and that's what we
Yeah.
have today now. With both of these teams, everything on the line, I think AP Bren
Gawin sana kanina kaso
they'll
ban.
have a
Hindi ko
better
napansin
chance
kung
if they
ban.
find a way to make Banana
What country is this?
comfortable. Maybe
Nasa
stop
ano
the
ako
Benedetta
ngayon
from
eh.
coming out, 'cause usually when
Nasa
the Benedette's
Czech.
there, that's where they profit the most.
Yeah, and I think that they will
What
now
if
have,
balagbagin
a
ng
little bit
FF
more
ang
priority
Onyx? Hindi
towards
pa
the
natin
side lanes
sure,
when it comes
Joshua.
to,
Pero makikita natin
drafting.
mamaya
So
yan.
maybe this time they will let RQ Hoshi pick up the side lanes first before they reveal theirs, because that's literally what happened in game number 1. You can see that the first pick there was the first pick there was if I would say
Arlotrom? Pwede
lane.
rin
So they
Arlotrom
have
actually
been
ah.
with the
Bansa to
gold. I
bansa,
mean,
dalawa
what I'm trying to say
represent.
here is that
Um,
the EXP and the golden
dalawang
jerseys
representative each
for
country.
RQ Hoshi were picked
Ayan.
first. And
Million
then
baby,
Bernie Sports,
million dollar,
Bernie Sports
ano,
countered
baby
those
Layla ba
claims.
yan? Basta ganun,
So it
Engineer
was
RJ. Pero
Clippers
magaling si
Layla,
Steph
and
Weezy
then it
in
was
fairness magaling
CC
siya.
counter or answered by
Shoutout kay A
um,
yung pre na naglalaro ng billiard.
what do you
Sabi ni
call this again?
Ariel Umigop. Shoutout sa'yo,
Slipped
tol.
my memory.
Tutok mo lang ng mahusay.
Back.
Yeah. But that's not the point, right? At least to win the side lanes. Now, in game number 2, it was
Yaman talaga
clear
ni
that
Wolf,
RQ
pre.
Hoshi now
Tira mo,
gave the
may,
tempo to
gusto nyo makita kung
Brent
gaano kayaman
when
si
it comes
Wolf?
to
Ayan,
drafting
ako.
all of the side laners, and then they countered
Magaling si Steph
afterwards.
Weezy, legit.
Yeah, Paquito,
Maano
by the
siya.
way, just to
The
let you
Paquito.
know.
There it
Magaling
is.
siya magsalita.
Right. So at least you don't necessarily win
Yaan
the
nyo sun,
matchup of
malay nyo mamit
versus
natin yung
Paquito,
mga
but
yan.
if you play it correctly, it's a
Nung
singles
M5
matchup
kasi,
anyway,
ano
so it's even. But when it comes to the game,
Same,
Nathan after
same ano
getting
lang eh, same
level
faces
2,
lang.
will
ang
definitely win against
nandito
the
eh.
Brony in the poke battle. So you saw that in the 1v1, Skylar going up against
Sabi ni Paradox, ba't yung mga kargador malalaki katawan, wala namang whey protein? Okay, eto yan ha. Tandaan mo, ang whey protein, pamalit lang yan sa pagkain na hindi mo kayang lunukin. Okay?
Definitely that Benedetta, the specialty pick,
Yun yan.
obviously coming from RQ Hoshi. Banana adjusted. He didn't go for the sustain.
Ulit pre, di narinig ni Eyong yung shoutout mo. Oy Ariel, oy shoutout pala sa'yo Eyong. Itutok mo lang ng maayos pre ha. Partidahan mo na yan sila Ariel kahit walang plangketa kami yan. Anong name ng live ito mapapanood sa YouTube? Ano ba Games of the Future MLBB Semifinals? Yun, hanapin nyo siya. Hindi ko alam kung lalabas pero check nyo.
So I think that should be a point of consideration for AP
Tagal puro ebas yung dalawa, sabi ni Justin. Tol, hindi naman sila yung nagpe-prepare.
so that they can
After game, okay, ganito yan ha.
Yeah, it's
After
definitely gonna have
game,
to be a battle on
usually
who's
may
gonna
mga
sustain
10
themselves in that lane.
to 15
Great
minutes
job
na
between the spacing as
ano
well as
na
executing.
preparation
And also
each
outward the
team
other
para
marksman on the gold side
pag-usapan yung mga nangyari, para mag-reset, para ganon. Okay, after nun, upo pa yan. Di ba? Upo pa. Tapos after nun, syempre, papakuha pa ng tubig, yung mga galaw na galaw. Hindi kasalanan ng caster yan, pre. Okay? Baka sabi, usually ganyan sinasabi sa amin, di ba? Pagka nagka-cast kami, sinasabi, tagal. Ano, puro salita yung ano, ganyan-ganyan. Yung ginagawa ng dalawa na yan, tawag dyan, sa casting term or sa broadcast term, is stretch. Stretch ang tawag dyan. Boss, tayo na kaya lumaban? G ka ba, boss? Sige. Sige lang, kaya na yan.
There's only one chance. There's only one more game, and one of these teams will be going home. The other one will move on into the grand finals.
Uy, hindi pa sila uuwi. May battle for third pa.
I will not be surprised if both Apbr as well as RQ Hoshi will just result back.
Tawag dyan buy time. Kasi ganito, kaya nagsasalita yung mga casters na yan. Kasi kapag ka
in the end, it's just a good pick, but at the same time, it still is a specialty pick coming out from RQ Hoshi. So they might want to go back for that.
Kapag ka in-off nila, kapag ka nilagay nila sa break yan, yung retention ng mga nanonood, bababa. Ay, nakalimutan ko na term doon. Pero magdi-deep down yung mga viewers. So kailangan nila magsalita, pag-usapan yung mga nangyari dun sa game na yon at pag-usapan moving forward. Okay. Okay. Yun.
Really strong trio, right? When it comes to the pick, it's their power pick for sure.
Oh, kape muna tayo, not super pick. Goods lang yan. Habang tumatagal, lalaki price pool. Oh, abang yung MSC, 3 million yun, pre.
Probably one of the considerations for Apbr. Surely they know how that works, that dynamic works, but they're going up against a team that is led by their former technical coach, right? So they have an idea how to.
Boris, bakit ang hina ng sound ng main casting nila, Wolf? Doon sa
one of the things that Apbr
sa YouTube? Hindi ko alam eh.
Still chose to go for blue side. They first banned the Ruby in game number 1.
Hindi ko alam eh. Actually, hindi rin nila control yan. Baka sa broadcast yun.
Instead. It is gonna be a totally different approach now for Apbr.
Yeah, they're gonna ban out the
Gusion
Phantoms.
Venom
A little
skin
bit
po,
of a
idol.
surprise
Si
back
Smooshy
there,
sa...
seeing that not walk.
Wala boss,
Really,
hindi ako
they
namimigay ng
figured
skin
out.
pre sa
The
mga
way I've
support,
noticed
sa mga
the kind of
subscribers
pattern
lang.
in their banning, especially when they're second
Di
pick,
ba ang
first
weird
pick
naman
of
nun,
Phantoms is a
robbery,
little
di ba?
weird to me.
Para kung may
You see
dead
their
air,
second
di
pick,
ba?
they'll
MSC
go.
3 million,
I
apa,
mean,
3
they may
million.
still do it. They may ban out the R-Lot, maybe the Ruby as a
Lakasan na natin konti nag-start na
with
eh.
them having first pick, trying to get some of those prior targets that they like to focus in on, especially.
Yan, gusto ko rin makinig sa kanila.
Hoshi doesn't ban the CC. That's a great pickup for Apbr, especially to keep up with the mobility if they decide not to ban the Benedetta.
Oh, first
I
pick
think
ang
that'd be
AP Bren
strong.
tingnan natin.
There goes the Joy, though,
Joy.
taken off the table, and then a staple ban that we've been seeing time and time again for majority of the teams in Game of Futures 2024. I think it's just across the board. Nobody wants that to walk. Out goes the Mathilda.
Yeah. The maybe answered by a Nolan. Especially when the Joy is banned out, you don't want to have the Nolan in there. Novaria obviously is a problem in that regard. With this banning pattern from AP Bren, maybe they go Guinevere as their third ban, but they go Minotaur, obviously. We already talked about that. So there are two
Hirap ng Mina.
targets here for AP Bren. Either they want to go Ruby or Guinevere as their first pick.
Pwede mag-first pick
So,
Guinevere.
those are the potential heroes for AP Bren. And whatever is left in the two heroes that we've mentioned, that will go in the favor of RQ Hoshi. Because I don't think that RQ Hoshi will let the Nolan out. Unless they have a set plan for it. But I don't think it will be the choice here for RQ Hoshi.
I agree with you actually on that. I think the
Yeah.
Ruby would be a strong pickup. I mean, there's not really too many heroes that can give it a hard time. And we've seen when the Ruby was slotted up against the Kufra, how much of a presence it had for AP Bren to be able to dominate, get those
Mukhang
items
si
that they
Steph
were looking for, and
Wheezy,
also be able
hindi
to
pa siya
sustain. But not to
super-
mention, it's also a great flex
Na,
pick, right?
ano,
I
no,
mean, you
parang
can also
hindi
put
pa
it
siya
in XP
super
lane
into
or one of those
MLBB.
spells if you need to
May
kind of
kita mo
adjust your
yung,
composition
ano, yung
throughout the
knowledge
draft.
niya
And
pagdating
there
sa
goes the Nolan
MLBB.
that you kind of mentioned,
Medyo,
being a
ano,
wise pickup and a wise ban for the side of
Yeah.
RQ Hoshi.
Medyo hindi
and
pa super,
there it goes.
ano,
The Guinevere
lalim.
will be slotted up.
Pero
Yep.
magaling siya.
As expected, it's
Magaling
the
siya.
Gwyn first pick for AP Bren. They're very much happy to.
So, ikaw na
to give
nasa
the
screen,
Ruby
Boss
to RQ
Burrito.
Hoshi.
Naman.
Um,
Oh, next
and
ano?
if you're RQ
Next
Hoshi, you really cannot pass up on that.
After-
pickup. So
next
going
2
back
weeks,
to
may kita nyo
Michael
na ako sa screen uli.
or the Fredrin again. But they go
Ay,
instantly
naku.
for the Nolan.
Ang ano, season 13 na pala ng
And, there are
MPL.
little to no answers to
Punyeta.
this Nolan winning stage. Maybe AP Bren just brings
Feeling ko
them up
galing
to
ibang laro si
actually
Steph
just
Wheezy.
so that they can outrange this Nolan. But this is such a
Baka
strong
dun sa
pick.
kalaban.
Now, how do you answer the Nolan? You have to go for the dive, right? For AP Bren. So you need a hero that goes with the Guinevere.
Ayun na naman
when it comes
sila,
to diving,
Nathan, pre.
like, maybe
Okay,
Yuzo,
Gwyn.
Paquito again for AP
Kailan
Bren.
start MPL Indo? Mas mo,
Arlot?
siguro
Maybe
first week
at
ng
Arlot,
March?
right?
Hindi ko alam eh.
I wonder
Baka-
if you is...
Ay hindi, uuwi pa yan eh. Baka second
if you-
week din.
if you
Ganun.
wants to go
Asia
for
Costa. Ay, maraming salamat sa
as a type
pag-follow.
of mages,
Diba ito si
right?
Asia
Someone that
Costa,
can
ano
play
to?
this role. And there's the Arla that you
Viva
talked
Max
about.
to.
Maybe
Pero
they go,
for ano na, poser
maybe
naman
they
yan eh.
go for a few hero now. Maybe okay, they go
Kailan
Nana.
mag-start? Pag
Wow,
nag-start,
okay.
puta.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Ayup
versus
ka
the
talaga,
Ruby.
paradox.
Anyway.
I like it. I mean,
Ano,
the
may
synergy,
nagtanong
that's a
kanina, hindi ko
synergized combo,
maalala
right?
kung
You
sino.
have the,
Nagtanong
Guinevere
kanina.
and the Arlot,
Anong oras
the
daw si...
team engage, being able to proc off
Anong
the CC
oras
your
daw
team
simula
provides.
ng game 2?
Having,
After
that
ng game
violent
1, sabi
requiem
ko.
from the Guinevere and the special migration is going to
Ay,
provide that.
oy,
We still
follow
haven't
niyo si
even got to
Claude.
see
Follow
what
niyo si
heroes
Claude.
gonna be slotted
Malupit
up in the
yan,
roam
pre.
position for AP Bren, which is
Yan
gonna
ang mga
also
malulupit
benefit,
na,
the Arlot to top that
Ito
off.
na,
Not to
nana na
mention,
sila,
it
pre.
procs off the Melina's Blitz from the Nana as
That's
well.
right.
So
That's
I
right.
think that's going to be a very scary game into the hands
Yeah.
of Flat Teasy if he decides to run this Arlot in the XP lane. Now,
Yeah.
for RQ Hoshi, they're going very strong in the frontline presence, right? We are going to see them pick up
Yeah.
this Fredrin. Good to be a bully on the neutral objectives, but
Kailangan natutunan ko dito.
may have a little bit of a struggle if the CC is overpressures him. The Ruby may be
Yeah.
able to make up for it though. With how much CC Ruby has in her kit, it definitely works well up against a
Pwede
frontline
silang-
and
pwede
dive
na nga nilang
composition
i-jungle
that we are
tong,
seeing so
ano,
far inside of
Guinevere.
AP Bren.
Yeah. Argoshi might go and ban out the Clint. I think those are the Clint and Harith are the two heroes that I'm thinking about that could be good for AP.
Clint daw, sabi ni Wolf.
Going up against
Okay.
this Nolan. Harith, you combo that up with a Kaja and then...
Kasi Clint
or any
burst
kind
eh.
of,
Burst kasi
initiation
yung
hero
Clint.
for
So,
open so that you have
I think yun yung
burst. Maybe
kinoconsider
that's
ni
a
Wolf
way for
dito.
you to
Dahil
take
nga
out this
malambot lang yung
And
Nolan.
usually,
Yung Nathan. Dapat
players go for
matumba
Purify.
agad.
So maybe
Rom Guinevere, baka Rom Arlot to.
AP Bren.
Oh, good.
As expected, it's the Clint ban for RQ Hoshi. Whereas AP Bren now gonna be looking for your mages to ban. Oh, but of course, you don't want to give the Benedetta anymore after
Yun nga.
that game for Arkiyoshi.
Yung kinikwento ko
You don't
pala
do that.
kanina, no, itong Benedetta,
Yeah, you know
last
what else is on the
season,
table too?
ng
Watch
ano,
out,
ng
they picked
Indo,
up a-
MPL
no,
Indo,
maybe. CC, did C walk?
si Banana ang
CC did walk.
pinakamalakas mag-Benedettang
okay.
XP
It did.
lane.
So it may need
So,
to be banned out.
ano,
It could be a
matic
pickup from
yun.
Arkiyoshi.
Lahat
They could flex,
naka-auto ban na yung
the
Benedetta
Ruby
sa
into the wrong
XP.
position, put CC in the
Kasi
XP,
diba
put
uso tank
Fredrin
nun?
on the jungle.
Uso tank
And I think
jungle.
that'd be a pretty solid
Ang tank
composition,
jungle,
especially with them having
kayang
first pick
sumalo
on the
niyan.
second
So,
phase
kailangan
of
mo
this
ng
draft. Would be
may
definitely
full
an asset,
damage na
to
huhuli
their
sa likod.
position that they're
Benedetta
drafting so
pinaka
far. For AP Bren, though,
gamit na gamit
they're
nun.
looking
Sa
pretty solid. They
Indonesia,
just need to kinda
sa
solidify
Indonesia.
this
Pero
with
sa PH hindi
a-
kasi.
maybe
Iba
some more
yung
group C.
iba yung
Honestly,
meta ng
they might
XP
not even
natin
need to go
dito,
group
diba?
CC. They
Terizla,
can go for some
Arlot,
sustainability. I mean, they already have the Guinevere
nung
and
last
the
season.
Arlot and the Nana to top that off.
Pakito
Overall,
XP.
this is
Pwede
similar to game
Pakito
number
XP
two, where
actually,
both sides
Zaya.
have a very solid
Parang
draft.
naisip ko nga, pwede Pakito XP.
I'm thinking I'm only thinking 2 heroes now for AP Bren to left. Kaja
Ayun lang, tinanggal na yung Pakito.
as well as Kaja as well as maybe the Tigreal. But I think you're more leaning towards the Kaja because you don't want to have an actual tank in the front lines because that will be taken out anyways.
Bene ni Arat ayaw nila sa
Mage will
custom.
be the ban here for AP Bren.
Hindi, tinanggal na yung Clint,
RQ
pre.
just can go back to
Clint,
Aurora.
ano?
So similar idea
Clint,
for the Vexana. You can output the
Pakito
damage from
tinanggal
long
na.
distance. Have the Ruby as well as this
Galing bumasa
Fredrin
talaga
front
ni
for
Bren
you.
no?
So you're gonna be
Tsaka
much
si Bren
better
kasi
spot.
galing AP Bren.
So,
So,
apart the Kaja,
parang alam niya yung
something
mga
tells
main
me that
heroes
Bren
na
might
pwede
go
magpahirap
back
sa
to,
kanila. So, parang
maybe
napaganda pa nga kay Bren.
this is crazy, but maybe a Leslie actually, because you really need to outrange this Nathan.
Gagi, ang sakit ng lineup nila, pre.
Told by Arkiyoshi, great pickup.
So, hindi pwede yung...
Either Kaja Beatrix for AP Bren or Kaja Leslie for AP Bren. Obviously that's a wild idea, but the point is you need to outrange this Nathan in lane so that you can win that matchup.
Another one that might slide through is the Brody.
Sabi ni
I mean, I
JD
don't see Brody
Hinunangan
being banned out.
Vlogs.
Definitely
Bakit
be a
hindi
strong
ginagamit
pickup.
funny now,
It's been a
boss?
staple pickup so far in Game of Futures 2024.
Ang dami kasing pang-hold
able to be
eh.
very mobile,
Parang ang
able to
hirap
sustain
ng carry
himself,
dito.
especially against,
Ng
Entropy,
funny
that the
dito.
Nathan will drop in with the CC, who we know is gonna harass
Carry
on these
pwede or
objectives, right? It's a
1-1.
lot of mobility,
Hindi,
and not
dapat
just for
pang-abot.
any player.
Dapat
That's gonna
yung
be
hindi siya
Banana
ma-outrange.
picking up this CC. If you've seen what he did with the Benedetta in the last game, he was all over the place, creating
Bea.
opportunity in the XP lane
Ooh.
or the difference on the neutral objectives.
Borg.
Either being able to help clear the mid lane,
Okay, gets
providing
ko,
extra
gets ko.
memory to be able to fight in these neutral objectives.
Replay,
and also
hindi to
delaying the
replay,
other XP
Soy
lane from
Nerf.
keeping up with him.
Hindi,
But
hindi to.
they're
Live
gonna
po
go
to,
for
live.
something like you kind of mentioned, the Beatrix. I think it's a wise decision. We don't get to see the Beatrix too often in Game of Futures 2024, so I'm excited about that. But the last pick was there for AP Bren, and it will be the export.
Parang,
You need really
Pwede
need
to,
poke
from
from
Arkiyoshi.
Obviously the Aurora is there. Maybe
Aurora?
they go back to a Farsa actually just for them to control this X-Borg. But obviously the Lilia is a much better or a more I guess easier hero compared to a Farsa. But you understand the point, right? You need poke, and that is the reason. That is the way you handle.
Gagi, kinakabahan ako sa lineup ng AP Bren ha. Medyo kabadugs ako
Overall, a great draft again.
Wag mawala ng pag-asa. Oo, wag tayo mawala ng pag-asa.
Did you notice that this probably is one of the most intense drafts that we've seen in this particular tournament, where every single second we keep on guessing and there are the setups. They dig their bag of tricks, picking up the Beatrix. As I've mentioned, like there were only 2 options for them, either the Beatrix or the Leslie. You don't want to go Leslie because it's not the most reliable hero
Lambat nun?
in the game.
Malambot yung Leslie din.
Beatrix though, it has a way.
Pang late game naman na X-Borg makuna doon. Ano, late game? Hindi, early mid, masakit na ang X-Borg actually
100% win against the Nathan, but if you play it correctly, you can. Now it's up to execution for both teams.
And into the land of Dawn we go. AP Bren. All the way out from the Philippines, the world champions from 5, looking to make a stand up against RRQ Hoshi from Indonesia. This is a best of 3 all the way to a game number 3. One of these teams will be going home today. One will be moving forward into the grand finals.
Oh, win!
It's gotta be up to
Madaya kasi XB pag naka-ice screen 1. Pero dito, for sure, hindi prayo ang ice screen 1
We're talking
dito.
about the Kaja that could be the pick-off potential
XP
for
yan
AP Bren from the roamer role. But you kind of have a
Magde-damage
pseudo
ata yan.
Kaja with a much faster
Baka War Axe
cooldown on
first
the ultimate.
item.
That's the Arlet. You only have to wait, 20 to 25 seconds maximum
Naka-impure rage siya.
to have that final slash. and that will give
Oh,
AP Bren that
laging
leeway.
nangyayari to,
Because the
no?
theory
Parang
of
sa
the
early
Final
parts
Slash
ng
is
game, laging
it's
bugbog si
not a
Brusco.
it's not a spell that you actually wanna use your Purify on, because the animation is too quick that even if you pop the Purify, you're already displaced by your opponent. So in
Oo.
a way, AP Bren have thought of a much better version for Akaja, which, well, that's the reason why they're the world champions. Because they
War
think
Axe lang
better
yan,
than
tas
what
stay.
we
Parehas
do.
tayo
And
naisip,
then they
Jeremiah.
swing this
War Axe tapos,
X-Borg as the
ano na.
EXP lane. And
And,
many teams will argue that
well,
X-Borg is strong in the meta game right now just because of the presence of the CC. It actually wins that matchup.
Yeah, we talked about having a possible plan for the banana split, right? Stopping
oh,
banana from being able to rotate around. And I think that's a good read from the side of AP Bren to be able to do that. Now, execution is another story. I mean, we know Banana is one of those players that knows how to find the opportunity that the team is looking for. So that is one of the things we're going to have to kind of pay
true
close
damage
attention
din
to
kasi yan eh.
for the
Kaya,
side of
ano,
AP Bren as the first turtle
uy,
does spawn in.
may
Some
flicker
engagement
pa
in the mid
si,
lane, though.
ano.
Big knockup over there from
Yun,
Interrat.
tuno.
Appraiser's Wrath finds Ogwin, procs the passive.
Hindi
Over there
nakawala,
from
pre, no?
Nana, few forced to go back. And now the last sanity going out. Flat TZ for a final stand,
Patay.
trying to delay them from taking
Petri,
this. Rather,
kuha.
Raccoon goes down. Flat TZ
Nice
finds
one,
Kyle
nice
TZ
one.
claims the turtle for
Mag-ice queen 1 yan at War
Bren.
Axe bahala kayo. Pero
That is in
mag-ice
trouble,
queen
but
1 naman
already
yan.
damage has
Kalmado
been
ka
done.
lang.
Slash is surviving as the
Oop, oop.
Firaga. It is safe for now. Oh, everybody's just so good at playing right now. Even Arkeoshi, after losing that, they look really good in that team fight. And they really challenge AP Bren to their limits. But in the end, it's only one hero that will be able to snag that last hit on the turtle. It's definitely
Nice
going
one,
to be
nice one,
the
nice one. Magandang
AP Bren side.
maganda ang simula.
And hey, we're climbing up
Magandang
that
simula.
ladder.
O,
The
check
pressure's
natin.
only getting
O,
higher.
mag-War
The
Axe,
room
di
is
ba?
only getting hotter, but who will be able
Warrior
to
Boots
maintain
tapos War
that
Axe.
heat? Will it be Indonesia? Will it be the Philippines? This is the last team from the Philippines currently seeing Blacklist taken down by Fireflux the other day inside of the
Kahapon.
quarterfinals. And AP Bren still trying to hold that banner high. RQ Hoshi, though, back on the scene, back to the name change, some new additions, and looking stronger than ever. Both teams currently tied 1-1 on the scoreboard, but AP Bren with that turtle
Ganda
play
ng laban,
has a
pre.
little bit of a slight advantage and a 1,000
Shoutout
gold lead.
Kimchi. Thank you so much sa pag-share ng live.
Super Marco double laning. This is one of the strengths of the Beatrix, just like the Claude, because of the kits. They have unlimited, well, you have 4 weapons to switch from, and you have your teammates to really aid that. Even delaying that top lane for Super Marco to have a much better farm compared to Skylar. Technically speaking, there's also
Double lane now.
merit for Skylar to go double lane because he has the ultimate, so he can traverse from top to mid lane very quickly. But Arkehoshi are thinking we also need farm on Octa, so we're not
Kaya to
gonna
laban na
sack
AP
our
Bren.
mid
Congrats
lane
pa
just
rin.
for
Talo.
our
Ano?
gold lane to have a little bit of extra gold.
Talo last.
Yeah,
Yeah.
speaking
Check,
of
check
having the
natin, check
advantage,
natin.
the first kill
Excited din
for the
ako.
side of AP Bren did go to Flap TZ.
1-1 pa lang,
In the XP lane, you mentioned it being a great answer over
Ang
there
galing
to
nila
Banana.
no? Ang galing nila
And he's off
pumwesto
to a really
ganyan.
good start.
Ewan ko,
Irad,
sobrang
though,
daming
able
haters
to get
ngayon ni
kill of his
Brusco.
own
Ang
inside
galing,
of the
ang galing
jungle,
naman ni
putting him slightly
Brusco.
possibly
Di ba,
ahead,
ang titi naman lakas naman maglaro
up
ni
against,
Brusco.
Kyle
Oh.
TZ, but you are seeing the engagement in the mid
Patay.
river. Fire missile
Patay
going
si
out,
Octa.
pulling Octa back, and Ogwin with the
Oh,
dive
hugot.
in will shut him down. And now
Yung
Irad
trophy.
trying to join the party. Ogwin trying to get away, trying to expand that distance. Last
Boy pa.
sanity to the back line.
Pucha.
Almost connecting. Flap TZ
Ulo,
an
boy
inch
pa.
away, but still getting the kills. Finds Brusco.
Grabe si
Oh,
Flap,
falls
boy.
down, but Flap TZ takes down Skylar for the double kill.
Oh my God, Flap! What an amazing way to control this X-Borg. Last Insanity.
Uy, patay
and
ata si Irad dyan.
Second skill, the fire stakes still on point. You can see it through the replay. While another clash is happening.
Ayun,
Well,
lost
look at that.
Insanity,
He
oh.
used the second skill while utilizing the ultimate. And well, everybody does that anyways. But the way that he timed it was so good that he caught 2 members of Arkehoshi.
Grabe
with the
talaga si
additional
Flap,
slows
pre,
and
no? Ako hindi ako
unbelievable
nagtataka kung bakit
performance
siya yung
coming out from
nag-MVP
Flap
nung
TZ. In
M5
pure rage,
at saka nung
X-Borg is the way to
Season
go.
12. Kasi
Definitely the
sobrang
way to go
galing
and
niya.
in control. You are going to see Skylar top side finding Super Marco. That will be
Okay,
the
that's
marksman
weird.
falling for the side of AP Bren. A little bit of a trade back for RRQ Hoshi. Trying
Parang
to
alanganin
even out the
lineup. Mukha siyang
scoreboard, not trying
alanganin.
to give
Pero
AP Bren
mas kaya to.
control of the early phase. We know this is pivotal to both sides if they want to be able to win this, is the early game. So far, both teams putting
Ang
out
bilis
a
niyan,
great
bilis
fight and
magbasag
test.
niyan. Huli.
On to the top side, though. Violent Requiem, special migration from Kyle TZ catches
Patay.
Brusco.
Huli.
Few will do the last hit,
Kaya
take
pa
him
ata.
down. Down
And
will fall
trophy,
the turret
2-0.
in the top side as well. And it looks like RQ Hoshi will disengage.
Yeah, they got a turtle, so that's good. But however, they will lose one of their members. And Flap TC just casually pops the ultimate. Well, local done ultimate anyways at this point. You're not that scared. And they will
Papasukin
try
nila.
to push up top.
Yeah,
Oh
gonna
my
push up
Patay.
top.
god.
Final slash on a
Patay si Skylar.
Skylar. Kyle TZ
Walang
able to close
minion.
the distance,
Galing ni
kill the last
Skylar,
two to
no?
take him down.
Nag-ulti siya,
That's
tapos
a response
tinarget
back
na lang
from
yung
earlier with
minions
Super
para
Marco
hindi
falling. And now
hindi
they're
sila
gonna try and
makabasag.
proxy this lane. They want to
Galing,
be able
galing.
to open up this map in their favor, especially losing their tier 1 turret so far. And it looks like they may be able to do that. Brusco not in a position to
Uli.
contest. Hit with the spatial migration, Violent Requiem, and
Nice
Super
one.
Marco will go ahead and take him down, and the turret will fall as well. And
Dinurog na ako niyan ni Flap sa lane. Alam mo ba nakalaban
Going to
namin
see
sila
the
Flap?
full
Si
showcase
Ogren,
of
si
how
Flap,
Arlet counters these
si
purified based
Sensui.
heroes because
Basta
of the
magkakasama
local
sila sa
done
RG.
finals
Nakalaban
matchup.
namin yan
Like
eh.
I said, even when
Tapos
you
tawa
got
kami ng tawa.
the Purify on
Kasi
finals
hindi ako
clash,
pinapakuha
it
ng
didn't matter
jungle.
because the animation is too quick that you're already displaced.
Tapos dinidipitipian ako ni Flap. Tapos nag-ano, sorry kuya, gumaganon. Gumaganon-ganon lang sila, nagme-message lang sila. Kuya Borit, sorry. Tinan mo, natutulog si Rod pre kay Flap po.
Ogwen, as the Arlot is going to be even more difficult to deal with. They want to go for Flap, but can they take the expert this time?
Hindi nila kaya.
Ooh, I mean,
No.
Flap definitely going for that MVP. He's looking for it. He's gunning for it. 4-0-0 so far. Half of the kills from the side
Nala
of
ni
AP
Flap,
Brand were
pre.
dealt by him. Super Marco will be able to claim a turret on the bottom side, and AP Bryn able to turn this game into their favor. Now,
Nag-RG kami,
leading
sinabihan
by
ako ni Wolf
5,000
eh. Sabi
gold.
niya, try mo mag-ano, try mo mag-Xborg
Looking really
XP.
scary and looking really
Lakas
dicey
ng
now for
Xborg
Arlot
XP
Hoshi.
eh, ngayon.
But we
Ano
always
meta
have
ba sa
to,
Borit sa GOF?
to talk about the late game because this is still Nathan. Nathan is Nathan.
Ano ba?
End of
Nana,
the day,
Xborg,
if he survives
Nolan,
the initial flurry from AP Brand, he's gonna be able to turn it around with
Red
Purify
Red.
as well as the ultimate for a little bit of cleanse. And
Parang
the damage output
may
from
halos
the
may parehas na hero.
Nathan
Guinevere,
is actually pretty good.
Matilda,
However,
yung pa rin ang
AP
mga
Brand,
meta ngayon.
what they
Pero
did to
CC
counter the
pinagagawa ng
Purify and
CC.
the cleanse is to just overload with a
Pero
lot of
yun nga,
crowd
nabanggit
control.
nga ni,
Like a lot of
ni
crowd
Wolf,
control sources.
ang kontra sa
Really
CC
crowd
ay
control,
Xborg.
sources kind of answers Purify based heroes because you have local down
Di ba pasok sa beta
reliable
ang si
knockdowns
Bene?
or
Sakto lang, sakto lang.
stuns or knockups or anything that committing a Purify for one spell.
Nakakainis, no? Parang
You always
imaginein
have to
mo ikaw
think
yung ano,
about
ikaw yung
that.
ginaganon,
Should
yung
I
sinusunog-sunog
commit
di
for the
Flap.
Purify just to get out or should
Tignan
I
mo.
wait for the
Ayan na.
ultimates?
Naku,
Ooh.
pasok ata. Oh,
Big
yun na
things.
last
Final slash in
inside.
the mid lane. Few will find Brusco.
Flap.
Good assist over there
Patay si
from
Octa.
Ogwen. Super
Grabe
Marco.
si Flap.
Flap TZ will go ahead and take down Octa. On fire so far, and Skylar off of the map on the bot side. We'll go ahead and claim a turret for the side of RQ Hoshi to try and catch up in this economy.
Oh my god. What is Flap on? He's just
Nag-counter ako ng hard
activated in this
AI
game.
nung nagsisi ako,
Really,
nag-Xborg
really
AI.
good calculations on his
And
hero.
at
He
least may
knows
natutunan
the limits
tayo
of his
ngayon,
hero.
di ba? May
Now
natutunan
he
tayo.
has
Counter sa
immortality.
CC is
Remember,
Xborg.
in those aggressive moves
Di
that
mo
he
nga
did
naman mapupok
9
yung
minutes before,
Xborg.
he
Kasi
didn't
di ba
have the
kahit
immortality,
yoyoan
but
mo,
he was already a problem.
susunugin ka lang.
What more
Eh may ano
would
yun
you
eh.
ask for from
May
a
spell
Flap
bump
TC?
yun eh.
He's gonna be destroying RQ Hoshi. He's
Lala
gonna be
ni
zoning them
Flap,
out, and the
gagi.
positioning was just so perfect. The way that he maneuvers with the
Ganda na
footwork
pwesto ni
on
Ogwen.
this Xborg allows him to dodge some of the spells.
Alam na
but
nila,
also, like,
nasa
reach
pixel.
to the backlines, like maximum
Uy, naging
from
trophy
his
na
fire
si ano,
pistols.
Skylar. Kulang sila ng
So,
kits. Kulang sila
Really
ng
on
skills.
point with this Xborg now.
Yeah, and AP Bryn is definitely leaning
Conceal.
on his rotations.
Ulit, gagi. Ubo sila, pre.
Triple taunt in the mid lane for AP Bryn. Irab will find Super Marco.
Nice
The
flap.
one for AP
Nice
Bryn.
flap.
Tees will find
Ogwen, boy pa.
Skylar to respond a
Boom.
1-for-1
Boom.
trade. Both
Boom, boom.
marksmen's off the table.
Mataas kaya
And they
si
get another though.
Kyle.
Who will
Ayun,
lead this
nakataas.
advantage in this engagement? Banana will find
Uy, 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 uy.
Ogwen. Two members down for the side of AP Bryn. And it looks like they will have to disengage into the mid lane. RQ Hope,
Na-set
though, they don't
upan
have their
sila,
marksmen, they do have
gagi.
the retribution.
Galing ni Bruce
But
ko
I
sa
don't know if they can
concealed.
really contest this Lord just yet. They may want to kind of wait it out a little bit before taking this fight.
Yan, drama.
But they
Conceal.
are off to a really good start. And
Conceal
this is
sila,
still, I would
Bruce
say,
ko.
considered
Ayun,
a
ang
stalemate
ganda.
between both
3-man,
sides.
pre.
Yeah.
It's still anybody's game. but
Partida wala
their
siyang vision
execution
doon ah.
of the teams-
Partida wala siyang vision na
Great
may
execution from
tao doon
Brusco to
sa
start with
ano,
the
si Brusco.
conceal flicker play. Really surprising AP Bren off, really off guard and don't run Wolf King with the ultimate.
I'm
Next
offended.
one to 3 members or 2 members of AP Bren, quickly followed by Irad with a taunt. So that's really great combos coming out from RQ Hoshi.
Pero mga madaliin na
if you're
nila
a fan
to.
of Indonesia or the Philippines, you definitely should be now. As look at both of these teams fighting their hearts out, trying to claim a spot inside of the grand finals. AP Brit
reset.
currently holding that title as the world champions, the best in the world, winning M5 RRQ Hoshi, rising to the occasion with some new additions to the team, ready to take the fight and earn that title. Down to the wire, best of 3, game number 3.
Di naman, si Flap yung pinapawak nila. Same, same mechanics ng Lordance. XP ang umawak,
Great,
tapos
great
flow lang
minion
sa
waste from Arky Hoshi.
mid
They're just
tsaka
slow
sa
pushing
ano,
the bottom lane, and then they
sa
clear
mga
out top.
lanes.
So
Uy,
they actually have
gogi.
the advantage now in this Lord Dance.
Aga ata ni Yogun Si Banana sa likod.
We'll be able to get out with the mobility provided over there from this R-Lot.
Banana.
Getting to the front line, being a little bit of a nuisance. Dealing a lot of damage on the chase on him.
Patay si Brusco. Nice one.
Shut him down with the last insanity. Now needs to get back. He does not have the
Pwede ata reset? Kaya pa ba?
25% HP. Kaltizi uses
Oh,
the
nice.
to close the distance. Gets the retribution. Super Marco takes down Irad, and the Lord goes to AP Bryn.
Oh man, never ever sleep on an X-Borg. Like Brusco overstayed in front of the X-Borg. And at this point with Flap being 7-0-2, of course he's gonna deal the damage. And
Bakit?
they really got cooked
Ano ng damage? Okay.
by this X-Borg. Brute Force, Breastplate,
Brute
as well as
Force.
and then Radiant Armor. Now
Emo
he's
Radiant.
got staying power up against Skylar as well as Octa.
Diba? Hindi na nag-ice queen 1 daw. Sino nagsasabi mag-ice queen 1 dyan? Diba? Ayaw nyo maniwala. Hindi mag-ice queen 1 dyan, pre.
9.2k.
Hindi niya kailangan na ice queen dyan. Kailangan niya mag-frontline eh.
That's how massive the advantage here
Wow.
is for Flap. And he was definitely the reason why AP Brent recovered in that Lord Dance. Because Brusco like, literally got cooked by his fellow Filipino Flap Teasy.
And a big boost
Sakit
from
ng
that for the side of
sunog,
AP
pre.
Bryn. Now able to claim the tier 2 turret in the mid lane. Looks like they're going in for a little bit more though on the top
Tapusin na
side.
matutulog na ako.
Now
Latok na doon si The Clown.
by a lot of turrets and also ahead, like you mentioned, by gold. Now, RQ Hoshi forced to be a little bit more defensive now. Can definitely say AP Bryn is in control of the tempo of this game. But the later this goes,
Partida di nagdomi. True damage naman kasi sa X-Borg eh. So may option siya na hindi magdomi.
for AP Bryn to make a slight mistake, maybe somebody to overextend.
Okay, welcome to
be able
the
turn
meta
this
X-Borg,
around, and
sabi ni
they're
Reyna.
definitely a team that can rise up to the occasion. Now, so far with this lead in favor
Nakadomi,
of AP
hindi
Bryn,
nakadomi si
they're
ano,
gonna
si
have to
Flap.
kinda be
Hindi
patient,
nakadomi
wait
si
it
Flap.
out for this
Si ano
next
si Ogen ang
objective. I mean,
nakadomi.
they do have some great mobility on their side and Flap Teasy to be a
Sabi
little
ni
bit of
Shokas
frontline
mo din yan,
presence
idol yung
before,
parang
and
MPL.
RQ Hoshi having a really hard
Wag
time
na,
finding an
nag-ano
answer to
tayo,
him. I mean, the
nagkaka
man
sila
has
eh.
not died
Yan
yet.
sila.
He's 7-0-2. Even when the full team commits on him, not only does he sustain himself, but he finds a way to get a kill alongside him.
Tutunaw si Irad.
Yeah,
Oh, hindi
somebody
lang
has
si
to
Irad
burst
ah.
down
Si
Flap
Brusco
Teasy,
natutunaw din, pre.
Like if he wants to go for those plays where he actually utilized first kill in front of RQ Hoshi, there has to be some sort of punish. Maybe Skylar commits actually at the ultimate just to take out of Flap Teasy and just put AP Bird in an awkward spot. But then again, Skylar is kind of scared.
Ano,
that
mukhang
with the
babaguhin ni
initiation
Umi
coming
tier
up
list
with
niya sa
Ogun as
XP
well as
din.
Skylar, so that's also a
Feeling
problem
ka.
he has to take care of. But
Sa napapanood
the
natin
main
ngayon,
problem
malala ang
definitely for
X-Borg.
RQ Hoshi is Flap. It's a canon event again for AP Brand.
Yeah, and you're looking at them getting ready, starting to go ahead and
Eh, para
take
magets
control
nyo
of
yung
these
canon
lanes,
event kasi
prepping
canon yung
for
apelido ni
this
Flap.
next lord to
Yun,
spawn
canon
in,
event.
and RQ Hoshi looks like they may
Wala lang,
actually
quick
try and go
explanation
in
lang
for the
para dun sa
contest. I
canon
mean, they
event
are
na
down in
reference
terms of the
ni
economy, but the later this game goes,
ano,
everybody's
ni
gonna be getting
Wolf.
closer and closer to
Tsaka
that goal.
canon
We've seen
event,
the Divine Glaive picked up
etong
from
laro na
Skylar,
to. So,
thinking about late
double
game
meaning
items.
siya.
We'll have that magic pin. Now,
Nagkakas pa ba si Sona sa
at the 15-minute
MPL?
mark,
Host po si
Lucas
Sona
Lord
ngayon,
spawns
si
in,
Hans.
and AP
Host si
Brand
Hans
will the
ngayon sa
aggro.
MPL.
Do we see
Abangan nyo.
RQ Hoshi respond? It looks like they will.
Ibang
They are
ibang
gonna go in
klaseng
for
ano.
the contest.
Uy, uy, uy. Tutunawin natin
There
yung
it
si
is.
Flap.
The
Nako,
commitment of Flap. They forced the ultimate already.
Rick.
Yeah, he is very low. Needs to get out of there. We
Uy,
talked about
nakatakas.
somebody needing to
Oh, the
burst him
Firaga
down.
Uy.
When the Truncheon picked up by Super Marco,
What?
getting ready to take this fight into the Lord pit. Nobody has fallen yet. Lord at about 50% HP.
Reset.
Kyle Teasy gonna go ahead and
Kailangan
clear
lang
the
mag-reset,
way,
wala
do a
pang
little
Firaga
reset
si Flap
for,
eh. Ayan na,
some
may Flap,
region on
may
the Lord, trying
Firaga
to
na.
delay and do
Sunog-sunog
this
lang.
Lord dance
Papuno
to
lang ng
start.
Firaga, tapos
Move
tsaka
over to the side of
mag-zone.
AP Bryn. They know they want to ban
Nag-aantay
some
sila na
activity from the side of RQ
magtutulak
Hoshi.
sa bottom.
Wait for an ultimate to proc that they can profit on to be able to engage.
Oh, watch out for AP Brand's rotation with Super Marco as well as Ogwin. A 1-5 position. Your position 1 and your position 5 going for the conceal play. Might go for that snipe.
Galing ni Banana, tira mo umiiwas-iwas dun sa ano, sa
Yeah, definitely got to be careful.
Magic
Brent
Boomerang.
still in position to take this. Very patient, and I got to give credit to both sides on how they are waiting for the other side to make a mistake. But these are very high IQ plays. They're just waiting. This is the Lord dance we've
Di
been
ka kasi
talking
pwede
about
magpakita
that's
eh.
been in
Tira
the
mo yung
land of
tatlo dun
gone
sa may
for
ano, sa may
ages, especially on this level
sa
of
RQ Hoshi,
competition.
di ba?
The
Nag-orange
Philippines
muna
and
sila.
Indonesia,
Tapos sinuhold
two
lang
of
ni
the
Iran
most
yung
competitive regions
Lord.
in
God.
MLBB
Ayan na.
history.
Uy, tinutuno si Banana.
Now fighting it out,
Patay,
raising
patay
those
ata.
banners high. Flapteasy though is going to use that Braga armor,
Uy, ano?
rushing in. Does take some
Patay
serious
si, ano,
hits.
Irad.
He may come out. You're going to see few find a
Nice
kill
one,
though.
nice
So
one,
Irad,
nice
that
one.
is huge. It's
Nalayuan
now
nila
RQ
si, ano,
Hoshi does not
Bruce
have
ko,
the
gagi.
retribution.
And when we talked about the position 1 and position 5 for AP Bren, the 1-5 punch from the long bush of AP Bren.
Umuwi si Flap, di ba? Umuwi si Flap. Tira mo, hindi hinahampas ni Kyle
But
TC
because
kasi
of
wala
their
pa. Uy,
patience, they took
gagi.
out Irad with that combo. And now, massive advantage for AP Bren, but Kyle is low.
Yeah, he wants
Banana
him. He
might-
knows. He has the retribution. He
no.
wants
Oh,
him.
no.
Uy, baburst ba ni Skylar?
Marco takes him down.
Itatry ata,
Two
itatry
members
ata.
gone for RRQ Hoshi.
Yun lang.
Still looking at a 5-man stack.
Boy pa si Kyle.
Out from the Philippines.
Ang kailangan lang retry ni Kyle. Ang kailangan lang ni
Still
Kyle
in
dito
control
retry.
of this neutral objective, and it looks like they are going
Retry.
in for the take. Agua
Nice
down
one.
Octa. Super Marco finds Brusco,
Nice one.
Skylar, and Irad wondering where did we go
Oop.
wrong.
Oop.
Now
Oop.
need to get out of
Oop.
there, but AP Brin
May imo
on
pa
the
si Flap.
chase
Okay
for
lang
the
map up.
kill.
May last insanity pa. Uy,
Take down
gagi.
Skylar,
Wipe out.
another will fall as Super Marco with the mega kill
Woo.
will go ahead and shut down Irad. A full wipeout against RRQ Hoshi.
They can go straight for the juggler this time. They have Beatrix, one of the fastest siegers out there. And there's
GG's,
only
pre,
Banana
GG's.
that can defend this. Banana going in and chasing Kyle TZ, trying to go for the hero plays, but unfortunately
Tunaw.
wasn't successful. And now he's taken out.
GG's.
That should be it. AP
GG's.
Bren will take this series for sure.
Yeah, able to claim this game and keep the Philippines inside of Game of Futures 2024.
Nice one, nice one, nice one, nice one, nice one.
In the
Nice
grand finals.
one.
What a Lord Dance. It was definitely a variation of, this is definitely a different variation of a Lord Dance, right? You can see that the side of AP Bren parked both Super Marco as well as
Pinaisa kasi
Owen
tropa si
in
Coach
the
Bren.
block.
Walang
Now,
ganun,
what
boy.
about
Walang,
the as well?
walang, huwag kayo maniniwala doon ha, Daklang 24, yung mga pinaisa. Hindi pwede magpaisa ka dyan kasi bawat laro dyan may panalo. Lahat ng panalo mo dyan may pera.
And
Ganon din sa MPL, okay? Kada game doon na mapapanalo mo, may cash. May cash prize, okay?
Because what they do is like they allow like the Guinevere to chunk the Lord down. So somebody has to
Lakas din ni Irad
check that
mag-Fredrin.
Lord.
Sobra,
Somebody has to
lakas
check
ni
the health of the Lord.
Irad.
When Irad showed
Uwi na ng Pinas. Hindi, may battle for third pa. So, abangan natin yung battle for third nila. For third place.
As well as the newest, the new
Grabe, pre.
and he didn't find any.
Pero makikita mo
Irad
talaga
felt
no na
comfortable,
ano,
putting himself in
sobrang
front of the Lord,
comfy ng
and
RQ
he
Hoshi
was
sa
playing
heroes
for
na
both
meron
Owen
sila.
and Super Marco.
Nagalawan lang ng
Made
AP Brand
dividends.
dito
All
sa
they had to
Lord.
do was just really pop the ultimate onto Irad, and Irad was gone. Just like that. And AP Brand played that Lord Dance in a different manner, but perfect.
Indo versus Indo na sa third place.
Yes,
Uy, may
flawless
FF pa.
execution.
Mamaya,
Both
after
sides
nitong game na to,
putting on an
FF.
amazing show, but like we said in the beginning, only one team will be able to move forward, and that'll be the first team out from Indonesia knocked out. We still are looking
Onyx
at
versus AP
holding
Brent
that
ba
banner
ulit?
high for
Hindi,
them. We will be seeing their game
tingnan
up
natin.
next.
Tingnan natin.
AP Brent able to move on forward, the
Man.
first team to make it into the grand finals, and I would definitely say that was Flat Teasy's game. We talked about him
Well,
having an answer over there to Banana, and they found it. You run the CC, no problem. I'll just counter it and do it a little bit better on the rotations. And he was able to pull it off. Not only was he frontlining majority of the damage,
Grabe
look at
din
him
mo si Flop, oh.
getting to the back line, pressuring the side of RQ Hoshi from taking these neutral objectives, creating the opportunity
Andun pa si
for
Rosa,
AP
oo nga
Brin
eh.
to have the
Abangan
advantage,
natin,
which led
FF.
overall
Yung Fireflux.
with them winning this series.
Kapag ka nakuha nila
this
yung
was the play
laban
for Banana,
mamaya
trying to go for
against
Kyle, but Kyle's
Onyx,
just baited him
ito
out
na yung
easily.
pinakamataas na
And
posisyon na
Kyle knew the limits
naabot
of his
nila.
hero. There's no one to damage him because they already zoned out
Hindi mo pwedeng
Skylar.
sisihin dito si
So
Banana
when
kasi
Brusco shows himself here, Kyle TC just
tinry
jumps
niyang
there,
hulihin
pops
si
the
Kyle eh.
direct whip,
And
then
magandang
he's
decision
still in
yun
red
kasi
range. Well, he
hindi
couldn't,
makakapagtuloy ng Lord ang
well,
AP
he didn't
Bren
have the
kapag namatay
retribution,
si
but
Kyle, di ba?
that's the point, right? There's still
Nabuhay
two ways
with
to take that
with the
forward. And
sliver
they
of
found Skylar
HP.
just
Pero
trying
wala
his
ganun
best,
talaga.
desperately to go for a pick-off
Pero
or
sugal
maybe
yun, sugal
basket
yung kay
the
Banana.
Lord or
Kung nakuha
something.
niya si
Again,
Kyle
another
TC doon,
hero play. So every time
makakapag-reset
that
sila,
there's a hero
maantay
play,
nila
there's an easy punish
si Brusco
coming out
tsaka
from
si
our
Irad na mabuhay.
Hoshi. And if you're a Filipino, you can hear Flap, I'm sure. He says,
Yeah, you
I
can
love
definitely
you.
tell.
Yeah, he
They were
really did
super
the,
hyped.
yeah. He said, I love you. 100%. That's what he said.
Well, I definitely know there's a lot of
Nagbara
love
si ano,
out there in
tangina
the
niya, tangina
Philippines
niya, sabi
for
niya.
AP Bren right
Oh,
now, as they
sure.
put on a show, able to close out the series, and there it is, the man with the plan stepping into the zone and doing his
Yep.
thing.
Indoor era is over. Oy, meron pang ano may Onyx
Well-deserved
pa.
MVP.
Oh, yeah.
Pero nice
I think
try
that deserves
para
no
sa
explanation.
ano,
The
RQ.
impact that he had
Ganda rin ang
in that
nilaro ng
game
RQ.
from the early stages was so well done. 9 minutes. In
Pero
fact,
wala.
the reason why Bernie's
Walang
Sports were winning
makatunaw
in
kay
the first 9
Flap.
minutes of the game,
Gagi.
majority is because of how Flap positioned himself and how he poked his enemies so well. And then in the first Lord, or was it the second Lord? But there was a Lord where Brusco
May Alicord,
eventually
shoutout.
RQ already
Guaranteed
found the
8
triple
million.
jump with
May
Brusco,
may 8
but on the
million
second
na ang Bren,
fight, what
pre.
happened was they overstayed in front of the X-Borg. That's why they got cooked. And sometimes you don't really feel
Irad
the damage of
impostor.
the X-Borg until it's far too late. when he
Buhat, ano nga,
already stacked up
buhaters
so
nga
much
ni
on you.
Irad eh.
Yeah, and as we are now panning over to this amazing game, you're looking at both teams fighting it out. That was RQ Hoshi. Not able to claim game 3, but they put on a good fight, right? They lost
Oy,
game
Felix,
1.
wag kayong
They
maglapag
tried
ng
to
mga
pull out the
political
Layla,
shits
the $1 million
dito, ha?
Layla that we seen yesterday, able to kind of, or we seen the other day, claiming victory up against Deus Volts. Not the same story going up against the world champions AP Bren. It looked like they kind of planned for it, and they executed pretty well. Definitely over pressuring them, running that Ruby, denying the Kufra, the setups he was looking for, and finding a way to kind of shut
GG's,
down
GG's,
Skylar.
GG's. Ang ganda ng
And then
game,
game number 2,
putik.
AP Bren.
Ay kayo ba rito? Anong
not
oras
able to
kaya
rise to the
matutulog
occasion,
niyan?
and RQ Hoshi.
Mamaya-maya
Even
pa.
out the
Mga
playing
alas
field,
4
they're
pa
playing
siguro.
something a little bit more comfortable. Banana running the
Pero
Vendetta,
GG's yun.
able to
Ganda ng
rotate
laro,
around
putik.
and able to equalize this series. But in game number 3, Flat Teasy. I don't know what they said to him.
Ano
in the
kung wala
locker
si
room,
Irad, baka easy win.
but it's working.
Hindi.
Keep on doing
Actually,
it.
ang layo na
Expect some
nito
great
ah.
things in
Malayo
the
na to
grand
para sa
finals. They
malayo
will
na
move on
nanabot ng
forward,
RRQ
shutting
dito
down
sa tournament
RQ
na to
Hoshi
ah.
with an amazing game.
Mamaw ni
There was,
Flap sa kanya lang
there was
nakatingin
that
mata ko. Oo
factor
nga eh,
of
no,
the
grabe
Beatrix in this game
mag-XB.
where
Expect nyo na marami
you probably-
mag-XB sides.
You probably forget about
Side
what the
lane.
strength of the Beatrix is because of how much nerf there
Ah,
was.
the
in
best
that
yan
hero,
game
and
3 semis na yan.
it's no
Oh.
longer the hero that
May
you
ano ba, may
choose
battle
in
for
the
third
game.
pa naman.
For
So,
good reason,
pinakamataas
right?
na
But
pwedeng
you
makuha ng
definitely
RQ
forget
dito is
the
yung third
possible
place.
combos, right? That you can get out of the Beatrix. Any reliable stun in combination with
XB
the
side sa
Beatrix
RG.
as
Matic.
well as the Nibiru's
Matic
passion
yan.
shreds through. And with the addition of the
ano-
Nana, now
ano
if you
po next
combine
yan?
that
Fireflux
heroes
is,
together, there's just
Fireflux.
explosions all over.
Tsaka
So you saw that
Onyx
even
na.
a
Next game
Ruby
dito.
that's very tanky, even a Fredrin cannot last with just
Ganda ng
one
game, guys.
Bennett's Rage coming out from the Beatrix. And that was
Congratulations
started
para
with
sa
the
ano,
final
sa
slash and sometimes the jumps coming out from
sa AP
from
Bren.
Calvin.
Pero
But
ano ba rin
the
naman?
ultimate of the Nana, it's just to know
Solid pa rin
there's
naman ang
no
laro ng
staying power
RQ
that
doon.
can last
Hindi pa naman din
through that
tapos. May laban pa sila sa Battle
Yeah,
for
I mean,
third.
we were looking at Ogwen
Diba?
just being
Kung
more the
makuha mo
utility
third
role
place, okay pa,
over there
okay ka
for
pa
this
rin.
Arlot,
Magkano
right?
bang
We
third
mentioned
place? Check
how
nga
it was
natin.
such a great synergized composition inside of the draft, especially stacked up with not only a Guinevere, but also, I mean, I guess technically the X-Borg too. I mean, if you pick up the Ice Queen one, it's going to provide some slow on top of that the Arlot can profit on. And he's just going in for the final slashes. He's going in for those dashes with the Demon Gauge. And that really worked into his favor.
Sino ba
that
panalo?
he
Bren or
leaned
RQ?
on to
Bren.
be able to get the
Bren.
opportunity to take the advantage. But Flap Teasy,
Yeah.
nonetheless, a great job. I mean, he took off from the early phase. He bridged the way for them to have such a great game. He held Banana inside the XP lane. Definitely one of the hardest XP laners we've seen so far in Game of Futures to keep at bay. And they found a way around. I'm sure if they're running ranked games out there in the Philippines and Indonesia, we're going to be seeing a lot of counters possibly to the CC now with the X-Borg matchup in
For
the XP
sure.
lane. This is why I love seeing these two regions fight it out.
Ano? Check mo items ko sa Yuzhong Meta. Ha, kasi kasi sige, wait lang.
Watching and
Check
taking
natin.
notes as well. And hey,
Magkano ba
these teams
papanalunan
are
ng
definitely
third
coming
place?
for a reason to show out and represent and hold those
120k.
best high for their
Oh,
region.
pwede na.
We still have one more team over there for Indonesia,
Check
though.
na
We
natin.
will be seeing them up next. It will be an interesting game. It is going to be Onyx stepping into the mix,
120.
and they'll be going up against the team
Okay.
that
Times.
took down
Sabihin natin
Blacklist,
50.
the Philippines,
120k
yesterday in the quarterfinals.
times 50, 6 million na.
About this because
Pwede na. Pwede na,
obviously
di ba?
we want to see
Kung
on play, but at
kung
the same time, I
55,
think that beat
6,000,
Blacklist going up
6,600,000.
the runners up
Diba?
of M5 with a play style that is something that you really don't expect. I'm excited to see Rosa as well as Alien, TNZ being on fire going up against Kyrie.
Ang
That
ano,
is
ang
going to be a treat for sure.
basta may
Yeah,
sureable na
definitely
8
gonna be a treat,
million
and honestly, I mean, that's big.
ang Bren.
Over there
Muli
in
na,
Turkey,
milyonaryo
right?
na naman
Take
ang
down
Bren.
one of the
Ano
most
ba yan?
decorated teams out there in the
Alam, sabi ni
Philippines, and now
Shay
having
enrolled
a shot
dito
to
sa
take
yung
one of the
Blacklist
most
kahapon. Oo
decorated
nga eh.
teams out in Indonesia.
Sayang.
That's a lot of pressure on
Solid
the
talaga
line,
pang international si
over
Flap.
there
Si
for
matapang kasi si
Fireflux
Flap
Esports,
talaga.
but they've
Tsaka
been doing
mataas
so
na ng
well
international
so
experience
far in
niya.
Game of Futures 2024, their rotations,
Mataas
their
ng
execution,
ang
Rosa
experience
dominating in
niya.
the mid lane, some
Tsaka,
big
sabi ni
setups
Shay
over
enrolled,
there from Apex
pa-shoutout
47
loads from
has been
Vigan
a
City,
problem.
Ilocos
But, you know, it is
Sur.
Indonesia.
Congrats, Bren.
Like I said,
Pinas
one
lang
of the top
malakas.
regions
Shoutout
in
sa'yo,
Mobile
Shay
Legends, bang, bang,
enrolled.
still holding
Hello
that
po.
banner high, and they got to represent, right? I mean, they just
Pang
seen
Japan na ba?
one of
Magja-Japan
the
na ba?
only teams besides them get knocked out.
Sabi
They
ni
got to hold that banner high, so it's going to be a very
JMRJD,
good match. Honestly, I feel it to be
ano
on the
tingin mo
same level as
kuya
this one.
sa kay
But a
H2O?
lot more on the
Makakasabay
line
pa ba
is
sa
there's a
MPL? Oo
chance
naman.
that
Oo naman.
Indonesia will be completely
Ang
knocked
balita
off
ko
the
ay
board
nagbabatak
if
naman daw talaga si
Onyx does
H2
not rise
ngayon.
to the occasion.
As
But for the side of
mentioned
Fireflux Esports, it's definitely going to be a
by
challenge. Like you said, they've
Coach
taken down
Aggressive,
one major
di ba?
team highly
Nasa ano siya,
decorated from
nasa
the Philippines, but
Smart
can
Omega
they do
Year
it
siya.
again
So,
against an Indonesian team?
hopefully maganda ang ano,
Well,
magandang season nila.
I don't know the answer yet, especially because you're kind of scared because this is still Onyx. Right? They're still a second runners off of M5. They're still very strong.
GG's. Wala po sa YouTube. Meron
they
meron.
forced,
Dito,
AP
nanonood ako
Brand
sa
to
YouTube
go
actually.
the
Itong
distance.
broadcast na to
So,
is
it's definitely
from
a color.
YouTube.
I think that generally
So,
you
kung gusto
think
nyo
that
manood
Onyx is
sa
more
YouTube,
favored
pwede
in that
naman.
matchup,
Search
but
nyo yung
after seeing
search
what
nyo yung
Fireflux
Games of
is
the
able to
Future,
do
MLBB,
in the
semifinals, blah blah blah.
semifinals or the
Check nyo.
quarterfinals,
Ang
number
Echo kaya
two,
makakasabay this season?
you're
Yep,
scared
malakas pa rin yung
about
Echo ngayon.
their potential as a team,
Malakas pa rin,
right?
lalo
You
na
really have to respect
yung
them, so
mga
that's
MVPs sa
really
Echo
And
proud
they didn't
ay
just
inakyat
beat
na nila.
Blacklist. It was a 2-0
Or dinala
sweep,
na nila sa
spread,
MPL.
which
Andun
is
si
a little bit more
Outplayed.
challenging. So far, Fireflux
Andun
Esports,
si Zaida.
they're
So,
sitting undefeated inside a Game of
Yeah.
Futures. When you're looking
Ngayon,
at Onyx,
sabi ni Shay enrolled,
it
idol ko yung
is
H2O, lalo
actually,
na
they did get
Big
defeated. They
3.
lost the
Oo,
game
yung Big 3,
yesterday
Rene G,
over
Yawi.
to RCC
Rene G,
out
pahinga
from,
this season.
Russia.
Yawi,
In game
nasa
number 2, it was a
Indo.
little bit of a
So, let's see kung
miscalculated,
paano yung bawi
work
ni
rate, which ended up
H2.
being steal from the
Kasi
side of,
parang, di ba, si
RCC
H2
to be
yung
able to claim that victory
hindi pa niya
and
na,
a turnaround at that
hindi
19-minute
pa niya
mark. But
nakuha yung
I will say,
gusto niya na
this is definitely going to be a
na
challenge.
position
Now,
sa
these other
MLBB
regions are
scene,
stepping
di
up to
ba?
the occasion.
Yo,
It's glad to
successful
be able
na
to see a
si
team go that
H2
high.
eh.
We saw
Wait lang hinang ko.
M5, Days Volts from Russia able
Lakas
to kind
eh.
of climb up there, and now we're getting to see
Di ba?
Fireflux
Successful si
Esports,
si H2
rise to
as
the
content
occasion as well.
creator,
That was
as
Russia
influencer.
first, and now
Pero di ba
Turkey
syempre
showing
bilang
that their meta's
isang
evolving, their
MLBB
team is
player,
getting
gusto mo
better.
rin di ba na may
And
maabot
they're
kang
providing a decent
mas
competition
maano,
to some of the more prominent regions for the
mas
side of
mataas na
MLBB,
posisyon
especially
sa
Indonesia and the Philippines. But you mentioned
ano mo,
Onyx,
sa
I mean, they're a
craft na
stacked team. I
ginagawa
mean, they've
mo,
got
di ba?
Kyrie
Abangan
dominating.
natin.
You know, you've
Yeah,
got
abangan
Keyboy
natin ng H2. Actually,
sitting in that roam position. It's
ang
definitely gonna be a
inaabangan
problem.
ko
I will
Smart
say, though, for
Omega,
Onyx, just a
TNC,
little bit of
Onyx,
a recap for
yung
those who
tatlong
just
team
now
na
jumping
yun,
into the show.
inaabangan ko sila.
They're able to take down Team Flash.
Pero ito nakakatakot nakakatakot na prediction.
So I'd say they beat the Flash brothers.
Sa grand finals ang maglalaban. Pero ito ano lang to, random prediction lang to ha. Base dun sa lineup. Ang pwedeng maglaban sa grand finals ay AP Bren at RSG. Yan. Lakas ang RSG ngayon eh. Sobra eh. Yan. Oy, sabayan na natin sila. Mag-break muna tayo ha. Off ko muna dun live stream. Off ko muna yung live stream sa YouTube. Off ko muna yung live stream sa TikTok. Mamaya na lang ulit tayo ha. Yun lang. Sige na, off ko muna to. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Thank you sa pagsama sa akin sa ano na to, sa watch party na to. Sige na. Bye-bye, bye-bye guys. Bye Shay and Rod at saka sa lahat ng mga nakatambay sa YouTube. Bye-bye sa lahat ng mga nakatambay dito sa TikTok. Bye-bye you.